Thank you for joining us. This is the Exploding Heads Horror Podcast. My name is Dave Z. I'm here with Brandon. I'm here with Christian. Say hi, guys. How's that?
Hello.
Hi guys. What's going on, everybody?
Okay, see? We always have stellar fucking intros for this show. It's become our thing. Oh, I'm sorry I said the F-bomb. I am going to, check it out, guys. For the first time ever on this show, we are going to be reviewing a movie that is not rated R. Wait, is it the first time ever? Wait a minute.
We did The Boy. We did Krampus. Oh, no, we didn't do Krampus. Sorry.
Is Burnt Offerings PG-13 or PG?
No,
Christian did Krampus.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I think Burnt Offerings was R at the time. Maybe if it was renewed, it would probably get, a PG-13, but it was R.
I'm not answering because I honestly don't know. I think you made that statement a little quick, and we probably reviewed a lot of films that were PG-13.
Yeah, The Final Girls was too, wasn't it? Son of a bitch! I had
From the
nice...
top. All right.
Right. I thought I had not a joke, but I thought I had a thing where I could come out and say, we're doing our first PG-13 movie, so we're going to try to keep it a PG-13 show.
Well, it is our first one since the last one.
This is a two-take fucker.
Yes, it is. Okay, guys, well, scratch that. So we're going to be talking... This is episode 19, by the way. We're going to be having one review this week, and it's for the movie Before I Wake, and it's PG-13. What's interesting is that it's our friend, well, not our friend, but a guy, a director that we've discussed his movies before, Mike Fleet.
A friend.
He's a friend of the show. We covered a movie.
He is a friend of the show.
Right, think about this. We covered
Mike is a friend of the show?
Well,
he's a friend of Dave's. Yeah. Any friend of Dave's is a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that too. Oh, speaking of friends of the show. No, go ahead. Whatever you have to say.
I was just going to say, it all depends, I guess, on tonight's review, whether he's still a friend of the show.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I know he's waiting. He can't wait to hear our review.
Mike, if you're listening.
Mikey. He likes
stay tuned. Hey, Mikey.
Well, he's got to wait. Everybody has to wait. So
yeah.
Wait 90 minutes, because that's how we're rolling. Speaking of a friend of the show, though, we were just having a discussion before we started. It was pertaining to the release date of Before I Wake, because all of a sudden it's vanished from B. And
I told you guys. I remember reading about this. They said that company, Relativity or whatever, was going under, and all their theatrical releases were kind of in limbo. And I think it's just going to be video on demand now. I think that's even what Jason Lloyd put today, too.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
okay.
Jason posted that earlier.
Well, it was supposed to be coming out August 25th or 26th, something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's not. There's nothing there. At least not for us, not for the States.
I actually saw in the movies that it was scheduled for like September 7th or something for theatrical.
Guess what? It is. It is scheduled. It's September 7th or 9th or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, whatever that Friday was. The 9th, Yeah, I saw it with the Lights Out, a trailer when I saw Lights Out last week. And but if it got pulled, I have a feeling it'll just go straight to VOD.
Well, it's dropping on that day, I think, whether it's VOD or whether it's at the theater.
Yeah,
it might be both. They've done it before. Simultaneous release, limited theatrical and VOD at the same day.
That's true. Is this a Blumhouse movie or no?
No, I don't remember seeing their logo at the beginning, but
okay, no, you're right. No, I watched it twice, and you're right. Yeah, okay, it's not because they've done that. They've just done debuts on, on VOD. Well, whatever. But that's one thing. Now, I found out that February, Black Coat's daughter. The rumor is. This is what Ashley told me. Ashley won the contest last time. She's from Girls Will Be Ghouls podcast, and it's her. But she told me that this movie has been pushed and it's not coming out till 2017.
Oh, man, really? February?
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, February, not Before I Wake. Yeah.
No, but the month of February?
Oh, yes, that's it. Maybe. Well, let's hope. Let's hope if it is 2017 that it's early February. Maybe. You think they're going to be cute like that?
Well, it would have been cute if they kept the title February, but if it's the Black Coat's daughter, it doesn't make a difference.
Well, no, because it's Black History Month, so Black Coat, Black History.
Yeah, true. February it is. It's a perfect date movie. Valentine's Day weekend. That's when they should release it.
All you black people, bring your black coats and your black families and come see the Black Coat's daughter.
Yeah, that's how they're going to advertise it for Black History Month.
Please refrain from talking too much.
Well, check it out. What an asshole.
I'm going to have to do a lot of editing. Oh, man.
Already. I know. Already. We're fucking talking shit about somebody. But anyway, if this is 2017, that sucks. But maybe it is going to be. Maybe they changed the name back to February, and that's why they want to drop it in February.
Well, maybe the Black Coat's daughter's being released in September, and February is being released in February.
Maybe that's what
double dip.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do a VOD and theatrical, but they're gonna try to be sneaky about it. They're gonna put it out as one title in September, Black Coat's Daughter hitting Netflix in September, and then February is gonna come out in February. Just to try to take people's money.
Hey, why not? The movie deserves it. So.
It does deserve it. Absolutely. That's we'll stand by that. And Brandon, have you watched it again?
February?
Yeah.
No, not since.
Okay.
Not since the review. No.
All right. Have you watched Possession again?
No.
Okay. All right. You're doing okay then. All right. You're not getting too crazy.
No. I'm. No.
It's because he came to his senses on Possession. Holy.
Possession is a masterpiece.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's a strong word.
That's a very strong.
You've been hanging out
and ill-advised for this movie. Yeah,
I believe it.
You've been hanging out with Elric Kane. Is that what it is? Because I listened to their show. It was an old one on Killer POV, and they picked their top 10 horror movies ever.
You mean Shockwaves?
Well, but at the time it was Killer POV. But
yeah, but at least I'm starting to listen to Shockwaves too.
It's good. It's
very good.
Depends on who they're interviewing, though. But I love it when it's just them. Just like us. I love it when it's just us.
Yeah, that's the best part. They're just
that's a big kick to the balls to Mike, who's been our only guest.
I don't mean it that way. I mean when it's just us bullshitting, not actually doing work.
I know. I'm sorry. I just felt like, throw that out there.
It is good. I mean, let's piss off more people. Even people that have been on the show. People that haven't been on the show yet, we've definitely fucked with them. So, we'll continue. Oh, that's my second F-bomb. So PG-13, you're allowed a couple F-bombs, aren't you?
I think nowadays you are. Back in the day, not so much, but I think you're okay with a couple.
Okay, that's my second, and I'm attempting to make it my final.
Dude, on the Green Room episode, you dropped so many F-bombs. It was so funny. I know you said it was the Sleepaway Camp episode, but yes, I listened back to the Green Room episode on my drive to the convention. We were laughing our ass off every time you said the F-bomb.
Wow.
Every 2 seconds.
Well, I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying.
So funny, though. No, don't cut it.
I do want to cut it. No. It's old hat. It's
old hat.
It's old hat. You know what would have been a good pairing? The Possession with February.
Agreed.
Funny enough, we did those. We're like, what could we put with this movie? And within a show's difference, that would have been a good old film with a good new film.
Yeah, it really would.
Instead of The Sentinel, that's for sure.
So Jason Lloyd dropped the ball.
It's his fault.
He was the one he should have said Possession. Real easy. Oh, you know what, though? I'll give him credit. Maybe he didn't say Possession because that would kind of give away the plot of the movie. It's right out there, Possession. Then the movie, someone's going to get possessed. When we sat our asses down to watch Black Coat's Daughter February, we didn't know there was anything like that going on, did we?
No.
No, I don't believe so, no.
None of us had seen the trailer, which is good.
Again, but if you listen to Brandon's dissection of Possession, he's not even doesn't believe she's possessed by anything anyway. I still believe that she was just possessed by big tentacly cock.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Well, it was a
metaphor.
It was a metaphor. Obviously, I'm being blunt in my description there, but as a metaphor, I still cannot see it as a masturbate. I stick by my 4.
It was a 4.5, I thought.
It was.
It was 4.5?
It just went down.
Oh,
it's
then I don't stick by it. Yeah, it's going down.
I don't stick by it. It's a 4 now. Fuck that film.
Oh, man. Damn it. Well,
I stick by my 9.
I stick by my 9, too.
You gave it a 9?
No, I was talking about something else. 9, just like mine. That's right. Guys, I wanted to... Possession. That's what you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
I read a really interesting synopsis. Not a synopsis, pardon me. I read a really interesting theory on possession. It was basically something I read on the Bee. And I just want to read this real quick. This is something that they were talking about in the message threads. She walked into the church. She started to masturbate on the Jesus' image. It was some sort of sick, immaculate conception, I guess. She didn't want to do it because she moaned indignantly, but she did it anyway. Then the famous subway scene started. There, in a subway, she miscarried a horrible, tentacled monster. The monster is the symbol of her lust and closed desires. She called it Sister Faith, because her faith is perverted and gross. Since then, she had been bringing it up by feeding with parts of the detectives' bodies and by having sex with it. It became crazy at first, but gradually it became an ideal version of her husband. Anna had been in love with him, although she betrayed him and screamed at him all the time. She wanted him to be perfect, to be more sexually satisfying, but it was impossible, so she was angry at him. But the making of it saved her from frustration. Finally, she got what she wanted to. Almost done. Anyway, the whole movie is a metaphor of divorce. And both doppelgangers, Helen and unnamed Anna's creature, were left with Bob as the new irreverent version of his real parents. That means that real Anna and Mark made up for their son, but it wasn't sincerely. Children always feel things like that. Bob preferred to drown himself rather than to see his new father and mother. What do you think of that theory?
It seems pretty accurate to me.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what they're saying. Still doesn't make it a good movie, though. That's what I was trying to get at, and I don't think I articulated that nicely during our review, but I'm just saying...
No, you definitely didn't.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I'm not so sure about the masturbating scene. I mean, obviously it's clear, like, she's groping at herself and stuff, but I feel like she's sort of, like, playing with God. Like, begging for help, and she's getting nothing in return. And that's why she can only, like, moan in despair. And when there's, like, no answer, then she sort of miscarries this demon, which takes on the form of her ideal lover. And the fact that they turn out to be them, it's just basically saying you can't escape this. You have to face it and take responsibility.
Good call. Okay, you're listening to Shockwaves because you secretly have a man crush on Elric, right?
I just started listening to Shockwaves.
Right, because of possession. He's the guy from New Zealand who calls himself. Well, I'm sure not just him, but he refers to people from New Zealand as Kiwis. Did you know that? Every time I hear that, I think of you guys in Kiwi Laser.
Actually, I just literally the other day I put on one episode and I started listening to it, and I like it. I'm going to start listening because I really need to start catching up on other podcasts. So I don't really know them all that well. But right. Yeah, but I'm definitely, if he's a fan of the movie, I'm a fan of him.
He's the biggest fan of the movie. You may be the second biggest now.
No, I know someone else who's a diehard Zulawski fan.
Okay. Well, that's all the possession talk for the week. I just read that.
Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw it there, and I was reading. I said, you know what? I kind of bought into that theory and thought it was cool. So I thought I would share it and see what you guys thought about it.
Pretty sure I said that exact same thing on the show.
That
review wasn't cut to like 20 minutes.
I know we did touch upon that. I'll give Brandon.
Oh, guys, let's do a 20-minute review of a movie you watched 80 times.
It was your segment. That's why I said, say what you want. You could have just spoke the whole time.
I did. I said all this. You were actually reading my post.
Oh, shit. You were up on the Bee, huh?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I should have known better. Okay.
Buzz.
Where the hell were we? I don't know.
Possession.
Yeah, well, we're leaving possession. It's on to the next one. Let's go to yeah, this is gonna be fun. We have we got some more voicemails and maybe an email.
Oh.
So yeah. So let me get into that. Let me well, this requires me to do something besides just sit here and talk. So I'm not good at things. So let me.
I'm pretty sure you were going to address something before we even got to the voicemails.
Well,
the ratings?
The rating. Go ahead. Why don't you talk about the ratings?
So we were number one again for the month
rating.
of July.
I was like, what rating? What is he talking about?
Number one on the Horrorphilia Network for the month of July.
That's awesome. Again, thank you, everybody.
That is absolutely amazing. Beating the Skeleton Crew again. Alex was kind of pissed. I saw he was like, I knew I should have renamed that episode.
Mm-hmm. And he talks about it on the Skeleton Crew, too.
That's funny.
But he named it Hey Yo, just as a tribute to me, apparently.
Yeah. No, I think it's awesome. Honestly, it doesn't really, affect me. It's cool to see. It's awesome that, obviously, a lot of people are listening. We were also, I believe, number 5 with the other show. It's just awesome. I believe you were on 6 of the 10 shows that were in the top 10.
6, huh?
I believe you, and I believe probably Jamie might be a close second.
Well, that's what else is new. Jamie's always on everything.
Because I noticed Theme Warriors was also up there too.
Okay, I'll check it. I'll read it to you right now.
All right, go ahead.
Number 1 was us. Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, it's nice to
I just want to thank JP for letting us be number 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the new intro. Not as good as our new intro was. That's the new one, yeah. So we're number 1. Thank you again, everyone. Now, okay. Number 2 was the Skeleton Crew, which, I'm sure was really close because Skeleton Crew, they've always got ratings, long before I was ever there. So, again, it's a fluke. As I said on Skeleton Crew, it's because of the title Sleepaway. That's what it was. It was just good timing and some good...
Let's be honest, it's because of the Rookie of the Year right here. This guy.
Yo, I'll check. Okay, check it out. If it happens again, then it's not a fluke. How's that? Because it happened once, then it happened again. If it happens again, well, okay. What's the phrase? 2 is something, 3 means something.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you're number 1. Something like that.
Something like that.
Sorry, that was me.
I know it was you. I was just about to say, this asshole of all people. He knows I got the sound on. He's sending messages. Wonderful. Well, that's more work for you, editor.
So ahead. Professional.
Right.
I'm just the editor.
This is the low end of horror. So we do what we do here. So let's continue. Skeleton Crew. Number 3 is 22 Shots Cults.
That was the one you were on, right?
It was my pleasure to be a guest on it. So you're saying that... Okay, well, we'll get to it. 4, again, is 22 Shots with serial killers, Henry 1 and 2. Then comes us, Exploding Heads, number 5, with Hush. 6 is the ABCs of Hidden Horror, which, yes, I do happen to be on that. It's our G episode.
You've been on every show you've literally just mentioned so far.
Well, you're right. Okay, Exploding Heads, Skeleton Crew, 2. I happen to be on Cults, that's 3. Exploding Heads again. Well, I don't get counted twice. Come on.
Of course it counts twice. You're on
really?
2 separate shows, yeah.
Okay, so then I do have 5 out of 6. Oh, check it out, though. 7 is Evil Episodes.
Were you on that one?
No, I was not.
Okay.
Not. Number 8 was another ABCs. Okay.
There you go.
So how many is that? 6?
Yep.
Yeah. Then NFW number 9, and then Theme Warriors number 10. So
That's
okay,
6 out of 10.
Right. 6 out of 10.
You're a rock star, man. That's awesome.
I just guest starred and got lucky on 22, and
oh please, you draw a crowd wherever you go.
I'm nothing special, believe me. I'm probably the worst lead host on fucking all of these shows because I'm new at it, and I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm good at it,
Well, I disagree.
I think you're wonderful.
Yes.
Well, thanks, guys.
I do too.
I think I'm competent, but if I didn't get lucky to have you two, it could have been a disaster.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And if I listened to any of the other shows, I'd really be able to tell you honestly what I thought, but you're the best that I've heard.
Well, I actually listened to the other shows.
I have too. I've listened to a few of the other ones too, so I'm just trying to be a dick about it. I've listened to Skeleton Crew and ABCs and Theme Warriors I'd listened to after
After
we had Mike on the show, actually, yeah.
Well, everybody should be listening to those shows as well.
The 22 Shots I've listened to since you guys recommended them way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look, and look, we owe a lot to all these shows. I mean, obviously, you guys are coming from other podcasts, so a lot of listeners came with you. I mean, when I came on, I brought everyone I could from 22 Shots, which you were also a part of at the time, Dave. So it's like it's one love, basically.
Yeah.
So,
and it's luck. It's luck that I happen to be on the Skeleton Crew and happen to have been on that episode of 22 Shots. Just because Skeleton Crew and 22 Shots, from where I sit, are the two best podcasts ever. Me as a listener, I can say that they've always been my two favorite podcasts.
They're two of my top three.
All right, so they were getting ratings. Those ratings have nothing to do with me. That was just me. That's just me. I fell into it. You know what I mean? I mean, without the Skeleton Crew, I wouldn't be here at all. But that started me into podcasts. But whatever, I fell into that, so I can't take the credit for those shows. I just happened to have been invited in the right situation, and if I wasn't there, the ratings would still be there. So it has nothing to do with me. So I can't take credit 6 out of 10. It's just any one of you assholes could have been on those same shows, and those ratings are still going to be there.
Chances are, if I was on any one of the other shows, that show would have been number one.
No, come on.
Let's
not go crazy.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not lose our heads. So that's that. And you guys should be listening to other shows and lots of other. I'm going to try to mention another podcast now and again just to promote them. Just not one particular, but like a different one every week. Because I listen to so many. I'll tell you what. I subscribe to. I have probably tried about 200 podcasts. Like
Postmortem Radio and TGIF 13.
Thank you.
Oh, well, those are two of the bottom feeders.
I'll tell you what. Christian is pimp. No, he's pimp, man. Fucking, you should be listening to those shows. There's no question.
I listen for Vince.
Hey. I love Vince, too. Hey, is Vince tall?
Well, he's a bit taller than I am. I'd say, I'd say he's maybe 5'10", 5'11". 5'11".
Wait, how tall are you? I always felt like you were going to be like 6 feet tall.
Me? No.
Yeah,
he's Italian, man. Short like me.
I'm like 5'9", 9.5 tops. Right. 5'9" and a half tops.
How tall are you, Dave?
Oh, fuck. I'm almost 5'8".
Oh, okay. So we're all short. I'm 5'8", 5'8 and a half.
Italians are always short.
Not all Italian.
I know. Okay. Are Jews short? Are Jewish people be short? I never thought about that.
We're always hunched over counting our money.
Shit, everybody's short. Asians are short, right? Italians are short. Yeah,
but you know what they say? Asians and Jews have huge wieners.
I've never once heard that.
You say that, huh?
This Jew says that.
Yeah.
He can't back it up, but he says it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you're honest.
Hey, it is what it is.
That it is.
It's small, but it's fierce.
Right. So check it out. I subscribe. I've tried 200 shows, and I subscribe to probably less than a dozen. Now that doesn't include maybe less than 20. There's a lot that I listen to horophilia shows where it's a network. I listen to shows in the Legion network as well. Something else you should hear, But honestly, I subscribe. This is what I subscribe to: the Girls in the Back Row, Who Goes There podcast, Horror Movie podcast, Horror News Radio, The New Flesh, the Purple Stuff podcast. It's not horror, but check it out. Just trust me. If you're in our age bracket, like you were raised in the 80s, check it out. The Horror Cast, by the way, they put on an excellent show. They did the top 25 movies of the millennium.
Yes.
Which we were going to do something similar, and fucking Brandon talked me out of it. Granted, it's not like theirs. They did 25.
Oh, that's right, because...
yeah, see, now you remember.
I remember. I did. What an asshole.
No, but it was smart. No, it was smart marketing. They did 25, which is great, and they got a lot of input from everybody. They didn't sit there and say, this is my 25 to 1 apiece. They have 4 hosts. There was 3 on this one. They interchange and whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't do it that way. They had 25 combined from the listeners. But we were going to do top 15.
Of 2000 and plus, right?
Of the last 15 years. And it was going to be episode 15. See what I did there? or tried to do. And Brandon said, well, maybe that's not such a good idea because we're doing episode 10 with the top 40 from, the last 40 years.
Yeah. So they were going to know basically our 15 favorite films.
Right. I mean, we could still do it. But anyway, they did a great show. It was awesome. And,
now, these other podcasts you're mentioning, they're all on what network? They're all on the Legion network?
All different. No. Legion has its own shows, and like Horophilia does. These are just random podcasts that I subscribe to.
I'm going to have to make a list because I really want to get into the other podcasts.
There you go. Shockwave's what you know. Jack and Nick show is another
Jack
one.
and who? Sorry, you broke up.
Jack and Nick horror
Jack
show.
And Nick.
Anyway, but on Legion, there's Girls Will Be Ghouls podcast. There's Kiss the Goat. There's Podcasts Under the Stairs.
Kiss the Goat?
Kiss the Goat, the Devil Show. I've told you guys about this one before.
Okay, maybe that's why it sounds familiar.
Earlier on, yeah. There's the Hailming Power Hour. There's Devour the Podcast is coming back. There's the Asian. Have you listened to that other show, Christian? I know, or either of you guys, because it's all about. It's called the Hero Ghost Show, and it's about mostly Asian movies.
No, I have not. What was it called again?
It's called the Hero Ghost Show. I was on that show actually. I talked about Ju-on. It's Bo Ransdell's show. So
man, you got to post all this on the page.
Yeah.
See, because I'm not the biggest Asian horror fan. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I enjoy, but the ones that I enjoy are probably the ones that everybody like. Sorry, Derek. I know Derek B's probably rolling, going, "What?" But ultimately, I liked some of the more mainstream Asian horror films, but I'm not a huge I don't have to see them all. Put it that way.
That's okay. That's all right. Well,
okay.
Brandon,
you continue to be closed-minded. That's fine.
Brandon. It was
yes.
for you, Brandon. I shouldn't have said Christian. It was for
you.
Yeah.
Christian only watches
French.
Canadian French Extreme.
Yep, Canadian French Extreme. That's it. We know how it is. If there's a French show, would you listen to that one? I know you would.
No, I can't stand them.
Fuck them frogs, right? We're insulting French people too. Why not?
Hey, since we're on French and this has nothing to do with it, Dave, with you being so close to the border, did you watch anything with the Tragically Hip last night?
I know all about it because my friends are all really into it, and I had friends that went to the Riviera Theater here just to watch it on the screen.
Yeah, so they were streaming it on CBC, and Brandon, if you don't know who they are, huge Canadian band that tried to make it in the States and obviously did really well in Buffalo and some border towns and cities, but never really, unfortunately you guys got Nickelback when you really should have gotten the Tragically Hip.
Yeah, Nickelback.
Yeah, I'll take
honestly,
the hip.
you could keep them.
I'll take the Nick. I'll take the hip over Nickelback. The Nick, I said. I'm gonna start calling the fucking Nickelback the Nick.
They're gonna join forces.
No, just because I know we weren't even really on that, but we were just talking, and it just is it was kind of a bittersweet, very sad because the reason it's their last tour is because he's diagnosed with brain cancer and he's
terminal.
Terminal.
Oh,
he's So they just wanted to do one big thing. Tickets sold out almost immediately.
Yeah, it's big news out here.
Well, everyone, that's Christian brightening the mood. Excuse me, I'll be back. I'm going to hang myself.
Well, don't forget to put on the hip while you do it.
Yeah. Come on, let's be respectful.
Yeah.
So ratings. Back to ratings, but different kind of ratings. iTunes ratings. I was going to say our next giveaway is going to be when we have 20. Well, because I've just been informed, of, what do you call it? Of the
Canadian iTunes?
No, Australian iTunes. Thank you, sir. You got me.
Oh, iTunes. iTunes. You mean?
Oh, wait, no, we have 19. Okay, check it out. We now have 16 on the United States page, okay? I don't know what we had last. We got a couple more since. The United States iTunes, whatever.
United States page wins.
And now, remember how Neil Robinson said, he was from Australia, left us the message, and he said, I'm on the Australian iTunes, you won't see it. And, of course we believed him, and he was in the drawing. But now, I can actually see the iTunes ratings because JB Horror TV, at JB Horror TV on Twitter, posted this on our page. And it says, EH Horror Podcast, you now have three reviews on iTunes, Australia, including my one. So, yes.
Including my one?
Mine. My God.
I'm sorry. I was just...
You're gonna...
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So we have three. So Neil says top of the mops. Dave, Z, Christian, and Brandon have great chemistry. If I hear they live in three. Oh, I read this last time.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, sorry, scratch that. But thank you, top of the mops.
Thanks, Neil.
I love hearing it again.
More
about us?
Yeah, right. This cuts off though because it's a picture, and when I can't hit the more button, so I couldn't read the whole thing anyway. So there you go. I would have felt like a jerk. So number 2, if you call yourself a horror fan, this is a must listen for any fan of the genre. These dudes know their stuff, and the banter between the three of them is hilarious. Admittedly, I'm a big fan of Dave Z. Wow, thank you. From the stuff he did with Banana Laser. The guy just has it. And I could listen to him talk horror for hours on end, which I have been doing with his podcast anyway.
By it, he means chlamydia. Sorry.
You stole my fucking joke. I was going to say it at the end. I was going to say, yeah, you're right, I do have it. And I'm going to go see a doctor tomorrow and get rid of it. That was my joke. And he says, subscribe or die. Twitter at AshRogers3. That's him. So
cool. Awesome. Dave,
yeah.
That people love you. People follow you around. You don't even have to say. You just say, "Hey, I'm Dave Z. I'm hosting a fucking show," and people are going to show up.
You're global, man.
Yeah.
You're global.
Yeah. We're global, not just
We're global.
Shit, we're global, man. We're taking over. Yeah.
You took us there, man.
Right? Well, nah, not really. Number 3, perfect podcast. That's him, JB Horror TV. That's what he says. And he says, perfect podcast for my weekly bleaching. Yeah. Perfect. And that's a perfect fucking rating for us.
Nice. So, that's fantastic.
It really is.
Australia. And they're still listening, because I thought after Braden insulted their whole culture that they would stop. Because what did you say? Like, Paul Hogan is really the only person we know from there?
Crocodile Dundee, man.
Yeah. Part 3 was your favorite?
They got kangaroos and serial killers. That's what they're known for.
All I know is he's pretty much insulted the whole continent.
I love Australia. Been there so many times.
Have you? My ass.
Oh, I've been in your ass many times, but I haven't been to Australia.
Ooh.
Don't confuse me with Black Phillip. Come on, man.
Whoa.
So yeah, we have 20. We have ratings, man. We have 19 officially now. So I guess the next one we get, we'll have another giveaway just like that. So that's really cool. That is really. Maybe we got some on Canada. Who knows? Christian, look if you can. One of these days.
I have looked, because that's where I download my feed from, the Canadian one, and there hasn't been.
Fuck Canada, man.
Yeah, fuck them. That means Moods hasn't even done it.
No, we have to do it for Moods. Check it out. Back to that. Okay, hold up. Horrorcast. Mark Nato said, listen, he had a great idea. I'm going to give him credit, because it was his idea. He's like, we should all be, rating each other's shows.
Yeah.
Sign a good faith between podcasts. It's great. It's a great idea. So they did ours. That's why we got 2 more. 2 came from Mark, Nato, and Walshy, and I did one for them. So maybe you guys can do it for them, and et cetera, and et cetera. And I gotta, we gotta do it with Moods in them. And
I can't guarantee they'll all be 5-star ratings, but I will do it. But
5-star or die.
If you see a 1-star review, it's from Brandon.
It's gonna be from a Canadian. Probably.
Bottom of the mops.
Oh, wait, they don't do them. Bottom of the mops! Canadians are too cool for to do iTunes reviews, so... Oh, well, we'll see what happens.
It's not true.
I know, I love Canadians. You know shit. Especially you. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Moods is cool, too.
Moods is cool, too.
Some hockey players. I love Canada. Some horror guys. David Cronenberg's cool. Anyway, yeah, that's Canada.
In a nutshell.
Yes. Now, remember we discussed this last week about the exploding barrel?
Yeah.
And I said I would get back to you guys on what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Exploding Barrel podcast is a video game podcast.
Oh, Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, current gaming news and commentary, nostalgic retrospectives.
Current gaming news and nostalgic retrospectives.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty much everything.
These dudes have 419 shows.
419?
419. The next is the big one, 420.
Oh shit, we getting fucked up.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to listen to that one. 420. But yeah, look at that. They're gonna have 420 shows, man. Wow. And somehow we come ahead of them suddenly in the searches. I don't know how, but
well, it just depends. Do they have people reviewed them, or are they a well-received show?
They have 25 reviews.
Okay, that's good though, because 25 reviews is pretty damn good. I mean, I know you guys had a lot on Banana Laser before, but I find a lot of people just don't want to put out the effort to put in a review. And I'm not going to lie to you, iTunes, Stitcher, they don't make it easy to find out if you've got a review. There should be a way to tell iTunes and Stitcher and where all the feeds are going out to, like who owns like the podcast or how to link them so that you can know. You would never know unless you go out and physically check. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. But that's why you got to bribe them, like we do. You got to bribe them. It's true. We have giveaways. We're bribing them. So every 10 we have another giveaway. Give us a rating. Boom. You're going to get free horror stuff from us.
Free swag.
I mean, hell. Yeah, free swag.
It's a different way of doing it, because if you officially say, we're going to give you this if you give us a review, I think you can't do that. But the fact that we say, no, well, we're going to put you into a draw, that's fine, because...
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Who doesn't
want to
try to
put you in my bottom drawer. Hey,
listen, if I can afford it, I would give everybody something that give a review, you know? Every single one. But, you know.
That's a good idea. I think we should do that.
Yeah, just me. Fuck that.
Just you. You brought us this far.
Only one,
all the way.
Only when we have a drawing. Only when we have 10 or 20, we have a plateau, we'll do another one. Or maybe just randomly. Oh, speaking of that, check it out. That brings us to an email. So let's get started on that. This concerns a giveaway. Remember our friend Evil Taylor Hicks?
Yep.
Oh, he's still around. He sent us another email. And, hey guys, listening to episode 18 and heard mention of a giveaway for Inside to those that ask a question.
Listen to episode 18 already.
Yeah, wait.
Isn't it not even out yet?
Unless he's hacked into my hard drive, he hasn't heard 18 yet.
Man, this Taylor Hicks, man, he's evil.
He is. See, there you
He's listening to episode 18. We haven't even heard it yet.
Maybe he could finish editing it for me.
Hook us up, Evil. Okay, apparently he means episode 17. Yeah, you did mention it on that show, didn't you? Yeah, right. It was the last one they dropped.
Yeah,
the famous February Black Goat's Daughter 81 show. No, 81 show. I'm fucking confusing myself. Forget it. Man. Anyway.
What a host.
Here's a question. See, I told you I'm a shitty host. There's proof positive. The proof is in the pudding. You know? Yeah. Anyway, Brandon, here's yeah, thank you. I tried to do a Cosby, yeah. Pudding pops. Not very good, sorry. Here is my question for Brandon. Are you ready, Brandon?
I'm ready.
Okay. His question is, can I have a copy of Inside? Love the show.
Honestly,
ETX.
Perfect. Give it to him.
Yeah.
You know what?
Of course.
Yes, you may.
Nice. All right, Brandon.
That's awesome.
Once you hear this, though, PM me your address. You better be in the States. Actually, I don't care where you are. I'll send it to you
Did
anyway.
you say pee on you?
Pee on me.
Yeah, did you just say that once you heard this message? Pee on me? Is that what you said?
PM me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
we did this last week too.
I know, I'm recycling old jokes. It's a Rawhead Rex reference. Okay, sorry.
Oh my god, that question was awesome.
That was awesome, yeah.
And I'll still have one left for the giveaway, for the episode 20 giveaway.
All right. Good old Inside. Okay, I got another email here from BC. How about that? ET and BC. All right, people are catching on. Right on. All right. Bill wanted to say he's sorry for the crappy first voicemail, but he wanted to be the first one to send it.
I liked it.
I liked it too. It fits this show. I tried to make a joke about it, but I forgot. I remember I was playing it back. I was like, guys, this is our very first one. It's going to be a scorcher. I tried to build it up, just have it be, Bill not saying much except, hello, how you guys doing? I don't think the joke took, or maybe my delivery was wrong.
Hey, did he answer the question though? Like we were wondering if that was really him, or if that was if he's going to be a different voice every time.
No, he didn't. Oh, and that's because he hasn't heard it yet. It's episode 18.
Yeah. Well, this episode's going right down the shit too.
I'm just laying back listening to you two. I'm like, if you could see the expression on my face, I'm like, what the fuck are these two talking about?
All right. Okay. Listen, BC has also added a voicemail. So here's my call-in for the week. It's short but sweet, and includes a challenge for Christian.
Ooh.
BC in Bangor. Yeah, all right. So check it out. Let's play this here. Hopefully this goes smoothly.
Nice. So far, not so.
Hi there, friends. This is BC from Bangor, and I just wanted to give a shout out to you guys for another great show. Episode 16 with the Green Room. Hey, it was great hearing Mike Merriman as well. And this time, I've got a challenge for Christian. Hey, Christian, what's something that you do that's pretty stereotypical of all Canadians?
I apologize.
You sure do. In fact, let's hear some of the highlights from the last show.
Sorry. Whew. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Oh.
I apologize. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, sorry. I apologize.
So, Christian, my challenge for you is try and do one show without apologizing or saying you're sorry. Can you do it? Oh, well, subject. What was it again that you went to school to become?
Cinematographer.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you know my tease because I love. And I can't wait to hear the next episode. Bye.
I'm fucking crying. I'm crying.
That is the greatest voicemail ever.
Tears are streaming down my face right now. That was awesome. I will try not to apologize. My gosh, that you got me, man. Holy shit.
Did you notice one other thing about that voicemail? His editing might be better than yours.
Yeah. See, I'm just trying to establish some sort of job within the podcast so that I am seen as someone that, Dave wants to keep. You know what I'm saying? We could keep having guest speakers come on. I'm
expendable. Yeah. I get it. Oh, BC. Man.
BC. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. My God.
Yes, it was. And he may be a better editor than Christian, but Christian is definitely a better cinematographer.
I can't believe he found it, because when I was listening to the episode, I couldn't go back and find it.
How could you not?
I don't know why. I just couldn't find it. And I listened to it twice. I'm like, where did he say the cinematography again?
Well, I'll tell you something. He was fucked up that show. It used to be me that I couldn't talk. Now it's him, because on that show, not only did he say cinematography, he also said, instead of demonic, he said dynamic.
Yeah.
He did the same thing. He switched his N and his M. That's what he did with cinematography.
Yeah, but he didn't go to school for demonic.
That's true.
Yeah, I only studied demonic.
I only studied demonology.
It didn't sound so assholey when I listened to it, but it was still pretty, I'm like, I only studied it.
That wasn't the episode where you were confusing Dick Miller and Dick Smith also, right?
Oh, Bill pointed that out too. No, you guys never caught it. Hey, you guys never caught it while we were recording?
No, I didn't.
I do the same thing.
Edited the damn thing and I didn't catch it until Bill pointed it out too. I started laughing my head off when he showed me the pictures of the two.
Yeah, when he showed the picture of Dick Miller, I'm like, oh, that's Dick Miller. Yeah, I remember him.
It was a great picture of Dick Miller too. It was awesome. Oh, he was like the cameo king, Dick Miller, man. Holy smoke.
I confess though, I didn't notice because I've done that too. I'm sure Dick Miller. Come on now. And Dick Smith, it's an easy mistake to make. There are a couple of dicks.
Yeah. I'm talking to two right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm used to
I think it would be great if every voicemail that Bill leaves is some sort of mistake that Christian makes from each previous episode.
Hey, that's okay. I make enough of it. And you know what?
That
was a different voice, though. That sounds like it would be his regular voice.
That was a different voice, huh?
Well, no, the other one, remember you were saying he sounded like a douche skater?
A douche rapper.
Rapper, skater.
Douche skater! Hey, I can't even do it. I don't even know what the fuck skaters say anymore.
Skater die!
Skater die!
Or die.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do some ollies, man.
Yeah, Ollie.
A douchebag skater. Oh, shit. So, Christian, do you accept the challenge?
I'm guarding everything I say now. Yes, right. I accept.
He's like, nice. I'm sorry, but I cannot accept.
Hey, I'm not going to say the F word. I'm sorry, but I can't say I'm sorry. You're right.
I'm sorry, but I can't accept.
Yeah, no F's from me, no S's from Christian.
And I'll just continue to be perfect.
We got a million challenges, and we're about to get to them. You have enough.
Oh, God, these challenges. I'm actually, starting to hate, film. I used to love movies. Now I just hate them. Now it feels like a chore.
Well, here's first and foremost. You wanted to talk about part 2 of the obscure horror movie challenges. I got news for you, buddy. I am not allowing this on the show.
What?
Am not. No, it's not going to happen because...
Don't do it.
I'm doing it to save you. I mean, you must know that. I don't want you watching all those movies.
I've looked at the list. I don't really want to watch any of them.
You don't need to watch 100 movies. You have 2016 movies to watch. You have shit to watch. And
I gotta be honest, and I was gonna mention this, if I do take on the challenge of part 2, first of all, I am going to buy Boarding House. I have to. I'll have a giveaway for it after I watch it if I hate it. But
that was my out, buddy. There you go. You summed it up. You never finished the first one, so
no, I'm going to. I'm finishing the first one. If I do take on the second one, it won't be until next year, because after this, I do have a challenge that I did for this show. I have a challenge coming up for a couple of the next few shows, and then 2016, I'm hitting hard.
Hitting hard, you better. I've been hitting hard. We're gonna get to that shortly.
Yeah.
We're jumping around as is, but yeah, I'm hitting it hard now, and we all should be. But yeah, you can't do it. So that challenge is out the window for now.
Yes.
Can't do it. Now, I guess we're here. What kind of challenges do you have? Jason Lloyd challenged you last show.
Jason Lloyd gave me the duel challenge.
Yes, and you took this challenge.
The 2LDK versus Aragami challenge, and I did take it. I had seen 2LDK before, but I did rewatch it, and I rewatched Aragami as well. And I forgot what he said. Did he really want me to talk about the films, or did he just want me to sort of give my verdict as to which one wins?
I said give a verdict.
All right, I'll give a verdict. The challenge was that they had to make a film. These directors had to make a film with just two characters in one isolated location. So just real quick, Aragami is basically about 2 samurais that are facing off in a temple. That film runs about 75 minutes, and 2LDK is 2 actresses who are sharing an apartment, and they're waiting to hear about an audition that they both went on. Both films, highly enjoyable. Recommend both of them. Aragami, believe it or not, for a 75-minute movie, the pacing is a little slow. It's heavy on the dialogue, so you're waiting. You want to see the battle scenes happen. So it's a really good movie. I love the tie-in at the end with one of the other movies that the director did. The director of that film was Kitamura. He did a lot of notable movies if you're an Asian horror fan, and he has a tie-in with this movie. I give that film a 7.5. Real solid, good film. Few things left unanswered, but enough given where you can sort of make up your own mind as to what's going on. 2LDK, much more straightforward. Again, maybe a tiny bit slow at the beginning, but the tension starts building very early, so you're more engaged from the get-go. And it just gets batshit crazy. And to me, just the more fun of the film. And I give that one an 8. So to me, 2LDK, slightly better than Aragami. Slightly more enjoyable than Aragami. But both well made. So the winner, 2LDK.
Nice.
Which stands for 2-bedroom, living, dining room, kitchen. It's describing their living situation.
Wow.
If anyone was wondering, because I would always wonder what that means. It's the way they,
Right.
about the condo or
Yeah.
apartment they own.
It's like SWF and NS and...
Or NWA.
Yeah, straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Cockpit.
Great. I'm glad that they were both good movies. So it was a challenge that was... These guys had to... What they had to do? Film the movie over like a real short period of time. What was it again? Do you remember?
Yeah, I forgot what the time frame was in terms of
short,
how long. It was short, and both the movies are really short. I mean, 2LDK is like 65 minutes.
Okay, well, hey, whatever. At least they put out good stuff.
These are two quality movies, and they're highly rated on the B, and they're both, now I'm saying the B,
Nice.
but they're really quite enjoyable.
Good.
Well, I think in his other question that Jason posed was, would you love to see that with two newer directors? And he mentioned like Zombie and Roth. Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool though to see an American like version of that. Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Oh, 100%.
These are definite. I mean, I don't know what the budgets are on these movies, but with isolated locations and two actors, especially when you're talking about directors that sort of have a group of actors that they work with over and over, they could definitely put together, a 60, 70-minute project like this that I would love to see.
Too bad they won't do it. It would be great if they did.
It won't happen, but
not in the States.
But if it did, I would certainly support it and have it as a double feature.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm getting mad with all again. Why not? Why can't it happen? Because give it like maybe they have a $500,000 budget each or something, maybe even $1 million. So your movie's $2 million. I mean, come on, with the names behind it and whatnot. They should be able to have a great opening weekend, and we should get more of these style movies. I think I ranted on this another time during our podcast, but the reality is that, like, I'm sick and tired of like these, 50, 100, $150 million movies catering to a certain audience that they think is already built in. Because there's going to be bombs there. Like, I just wish someone else took a chance. Like, this is how the Saw films got made. They barely cost anything to produce. Now, some people argue that they're garbage, but I know you guys are fans of them, so I know you'll back me up. They were the new wave Friday the 13th series, as was, Paranormal Activity for at a certain.
I don't know what movie studios are thinking. I completely agree with you. I mean, just this summer alone, with the Ghostbusters thing, they had to have seen a bomb coming. And I haven't seen the movie. I might enjoy it. I'm not even judging whether it's a terrible movie or not. Just spending that much money, people are going to be pissing on seeing it. And then this past weekend, they just released a remake of Ben-Hur.
Yeah, that looks like it missed the boat. From the casting, the makeup, everything.
Yeah, whose idea was it? Like, okay, let's remake Ben-Hur. Everybody wants that right now.
Yeah.
And it's a tremendous flop. I mean, that was like $150 million, and I think it made nothing.
I saw Ghostbusters. I think we could talk about that since it's somewhat relative horror. I know it's a comedy and whatnot.
Yeah.
I saw it, and it's a bloated summer movie. Was it a total misfire? No, I know Alex hated it. Yes, there were some things that absolutely were not great ideas. However, I found myself enjoying it for the most part. But like every summer movie now, I find they're like, shit, we got to cut this down. We got to keep this rolling. So there's pacing issues.
Yeah.
And not the pacing issues that I'm talking about when like, oh shit, they could have easily cut out 10 minutes. For once you're kind of going, we needed another transition scene. We needed another scene here to bridge this one scene to the other scene that it just cut right to it, and it was not enough. And I saw Suicide Squad, and it's the same argument I used for Suicide Squad. It's just there are these bloated summer movies that there's going to be like a director's version that comes out on Blu-ray because they cut the movies down because they feel that's what the audience have. No attention span. They're not interested in development. They just want to see action and special effects. And there are some people that want
a flop, though. Ghostbusters is a money loser.
Yeah.
You're never going to see a sequel to that.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, I know.
So even more so, whether it's enjoyable or not, I don't understand why they're still making these huge budget films.
Hollywood is a mess.
I get the superhero stuff. I get stuff like Suicide Squad. Those like you could put $200 million in those. You're going to make that in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they're not gonna make what they fucking thought they were gonna make for the money they spent on that movie and for what their anticipation is.
Oh yeah, I mean, we don't know what they're spending on marketing and stuff and all that. And I mean, they're gonna make a lot of money, but it costs a fortune. Whereas, like we're talking about, if it was like Rob Zombie versus Eli Roth, and it was a $2 million total budget, put $1 million into marketing, and all of a sudden $3 million first weekend, you'd probably make $25 million.
It's the greed. I know they say, even if you, like you said, if you put $1 million in the marketing, which is probably not huge in the big picture of marketing, but you know how to advertise to horror fans. And if you don't,
exactly,
then the names Roth and Zombie carry so much weight to them because they have a huge fan base. They have people that absolutely hate them and despise everything they've created. However, it will get horror fans talking, and it will get some percentage of them into seats opening weekend, hopefully a larger percentage of them, and that's all you need. And then when you add general public that's just curious, you should come away with a 10 million plus opening weekend. And if you weren't just greedy, that should be fine. And it's a success. And then you rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat sounds generic, but you just do it with fresh ideas.
Amen.
Absolutely. But greed, it will never let that happen. Unfortunately, it would be great, but I'll tell you one thing about Hollywood. While we're on the subject, they do make a lot of mistakes for summer blockbusters and big, and I'm usually not concerned with those movies anyway, especially Marvel. But this year in particular, it kind of started last year, but this year really has been a very good year for horror at the box office. Like as far as quality is concerned, I'm not saying financially, but it's like last year, I think I said it was the year of the horror comedy. This year seems like it's the year of Hollywood, good Hollywood horror. Don't you guys think?
It's not bad. It's not bad. You had The Boy. What else did you have? I never saw The Farce. They had Pride and Prejudice versus Zombies.
We had The Witch.
I wouldn't call that Hollywood though.
That's true. It's not Hollywood. You're right. It's a
but I know what you mean. Bigger theatrical, wide releases.
Things that we've seen this year that we've covered on the show, and other things that have played at the theater. There's been better titles this year to go to.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Lights Out. I thought it was an above average made film. I didn't find it that entertaining.
Really, I'm hearing a lot of positive.
It was okay to me, but I was not blown away by it. There was one particular scene in the movie, and I don't know if it was just because of the audience reaction in the theater, but like we all almost had heart attacks. Just generic jump scares, but scared the fucking piss out of us.
Hey, it works at the show, definitely. To the show!
To the show! Let's go to the show!
Shit.
Frankfurter, they cost a nickel. The show. Oh, yeah, the show. Frankfurter for a nickel.
Oh, fuck. So,
Want a pop?
You have any more challenges?
I do have a challenge from JP.
JP, all right.
All right, let me read this real quick.
I want to thank JP while I'm on the subject.
I got to thank JP and Moods and Jeremy and all the 22 Shots people.
Yes.
The whole community.
I want to thank JP in particular for introducing us to the voicemail thing.
And for introducing us to Taco Bell.
Awesome.
I'm going to give him the Gordita challenge next.
Do it.
Okay. So here it is. I picture this with a jigsaw voice. Okay, Brandon. You're probably wondering what this is. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It might be the last movie you ever watch. Up until now, you simply sat in the shadows watching others podcast the bad movies. But what do voyeurs see when they look in the mirror? Brandon, I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose. The device you are wearing is hooked into your upper penis and lower testicles, which I have implanted using various forms of magnification devices and tweezers. When the challenge is failed, the thing that you call a penis will be permanently ripped open. Think of it as a reverse bear trap.
You call a penis?
This is what he said to me in the mail. I thought this was hilarious. Okay, so the challenge basically is multi-packs. I searched the stores of my town far and wide for one that had a unique mix of movies. I found a 20 movie pack. And the rules of this, he got me this 20 movie pack. I believe it's a Mill Creek pack. It has 20 films on it. I have to watch every movie. I can skip one because Night of the Living Dead is on there, and obviously I don't want to give a spoiler review because I'm sure at some point we'll do the Dead films. So it's a 19-film challenge, and I got to watch them, give a brief talk about them, and a rating for each of the episodes coming up in the future. Unless, of course, we have a big show coming up. And if I don't, I die. That's what it says.
You get your penis ripped in half. Yeah, you don't want that.
It says by the end you must die. I don't know why it says that at the end of his note. Good luck, JP.
Thanks, JP.
I want to know how he implanted this thing into me, without me noticing it.
And without Black Phillip noticing it.
Yeah. Various forms of magnification devices and tweezers.
Beautiful.
He's a funny guy.
That's going to have to start show 21, though.
Yeah. I wanted to read that note, but yeah, it's a 20 movie pack. Films, I forgot all the films that were on there, but House on Haunted Hill is on there. I mean, obviously I've seen that before, but I'll review that one again for for it. Has films like Devil Bat, Bone Daddy, The Arrival.
Bone Daddy.
They call me the Bone Daddy.
Nice.
The Arrival Part 1 and 2. A bunch of other films that sound pretty horrible, but it's a cool looking pack of films. Give it a shot.
Great.
Nice.
And 19 is better than 100.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
Fucking
is.
crickets, man.
No, it is better than 100. I agree.
I'm just talking about that fucking cricket you got.
Oh, sorry, man.
It's okay.
I don't plan it that way. It just happens. But we have more voicemails here.
Shoot away. Or play away.
I'm blowing you right off. Okay, well, check this out, man. This lasts 3 different ones.
Excuse you.
Yes, it's this damn chair, I know. Okay, hold up. Check it out.
Once we get 25 reviews, Dave Z gets a new chair.
Yeah. I had an old chair, but it was a rocking chair. And it was wooden and it...
He was rocking like Sam Neill in Possession.
Oh, shit. Christian doesn't want to even hear that word again.
It's like, don't mention that fucking film.
Don't even. Clickety-clackety.
Moods was like, oh, it was a stellar performance. I'm like, did you see him in that fucking rocking chair?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The 2 Canadians are going at it.
You don't want to hear it, huh? Do you want to hear this?
Yes.
I took that challenge.
You took it?
Yeah.
Me too.
Did you last? Did you make it?
Yeah.
I did.
Are you going to make it now?
No.
All right, let me stop it. I'll have mercy on you.
All right, who posted that again? Because I took the challenge too and I made it.
I don't know. I forgot who posted it, but...
I'm not sure if it was him, but somebody else posted another one of those challenges where all the headline was said was, look at this crash. And it was just a truck about to crash into something.
Yeah,
and then it
never did.
Yeah, and that pissed the shit out of me. It was just a minute of the truck about to crash. You saw that too, Christian?
Yeah. It's great.
Had to be the same guay.
They wanted to see how long you watched it. After about 5 seconds, I'm like, this is just going to keep a loop. It's just a loop.
I waited. I was hoping at the end they were going to at least show the crash.
Wait, how long did you last before you pulled the plug?
I made it all the way through.
How long is it?
Oh, it's probably like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like 10, 12 minutes or something.
No.
Okay.
It's not like one of these like 9-hour videos of just like He-Man singing or something.
Okay. Well, that should be the new clickety-clackety. That should be the new Rickroll. It should be everywhere. If we ever make it to the big leagues, if you ever make it to the show, you'll be seeing that shit. Clickety-clackety.
Show. Making it big in the show.
All right. Here it is. Here's a voicemail. Check it out.
Hey guys, it's Stu Carpenter. Big fan of the show, as you guys already know.
Sorry, that's me.
Just finished watching Return to Sleepaway Camp for the first time, and I thought I'd call in and give you guys my thoughts on the series. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences with the series overall. Before hearing you guys, we're going to talk about the series. I just seen part 1, and that was quite a long time ago. I don't remember when exactly. I don't remember much about it, besides, of course, Angel was actually being a guy. I remember thinking it was a decent slasher overall, but not really being blown away by it. So this time I decided to watch them all except for part 4. And I guess I really enjoyed the series. So first I'll talk a little bit about part 1. I think I liked it a little bit more this time than I usually did. There's some decent kills. My favorite one was definitely the cook getting burned by the fucking tall-ass boiling water. That one definitely sticks out to me. The other one I really liked was when the girl, I can't remember her name now, but I think it was Allie, maybe.
Shit, I don't know.
When she got stabbed in the shower.
That was Allie.
Her back,
Okay.
that was definitely a great one.
You didn't like the beat kill, huh?
Although I think they totally
Beat.
totally ramped it up when they got to part 2. Like I said earlier, this was my first time watching part 2. I just fucking loved it. Definitely the best thing about it was Pamela Springsteen. She was just amazing as Angela. It's just weird usually in slashers, like, it's some masked man who never talks, and in this we have Angela. She's this seemingly innocent young camp counselor who, she's like 5'5", 120 pounds. Doesn't seem she could kill anybody, but she just kicks some serious fucking ass in this movie. I'm like pretty much rooting for her the whole time. I just love this lady. all the kids are pretty much assholes, and she seems to be doing the right things for the most part. She's she was being nice to the one girl. I think there's a scene at 2 where she's kind of trying to talk to her about the girl and with the guy who they were. I don't know. She was wanting to fuck him or whatever.
Okay, then he cuts off, so hold on. And then he complains about it. And it takes a second. Yeah, 3 minutes is all you get. If that does continue to happen, I'll just have to do this if they're longer than 3 minutes each time. No big deal. We'll play them.
Hey guys, Stu Carpenter back. I'm trying to send this one again because it cut me off first time. So I was talking about part 2. There were a lot of awesome kills. They burned the camper. She burned the campers alive. That was pretty good. They burnt the drill kill. That was pretty awesome too. And of course, the outhouse scene. I'm kind of a germaphobe, so just having to keep my head in that fucking outhouse, I can't think of a worse way to die. Also really liked part 3 as well. Springsteen was obviously excellent again in it. And they ramped up the kills, I thought. My favorite was probably Herman's wife. I can't remember her name, but
get me out of here!
But she was just the fucking bitch who was kind of just sitting on her ass reading the
Wait,
magazine.
P.
And Angela, of course, buried her alive up to her neck in the trash pit, I think. And then she decapitated her with the lawnmower. I love that one. Also, the firecracker blowing off the one guy's face was great.
Yes.
Love that.
So part 4, I ended up skipping because I've heard lots of weird things about it. I couldn't find a legit copy anywhere online, so I just decided to skip it out, watch Return.
Yeah, fuck that piece of shit.
Which I thought was fun. I kind of liked how they brought some of the original characters back, like Ronnie, the camp counselor, and Ricky, who was, I guess, Angela's cousin. There were some good kills. The dude getting his cock ripped off by the wire was pretty funny. Of course, the guy getting his head in the deep fryer was good, which was a good callback to the original. The ending, that was kind of lame. The cop who sounds like Darth Vader with his little I don't know what the hell you call it. But that was kind of lame. How he was just kind of that ended up being Angela. He was just kind of a stupid cop. I wish they would have kind of brought that in a different way that incorporated Angela as the killer. But I guess I can see why they did that. They clearly tried to make Alan the killer, and I thought it was him up until the very end. But I kind of had a suspicion that it might not be because they wanted Angela to be the killer, but I guess they fooled me. So I would say overall I'm a pretty big fan of the franchise. I think one thing that...
He gets cut off again.
Oh.
Then he calls a third time to wrap it up.
Steve, your messages are great, but your ass stinks.
He must have been pissed off at this machine. I saw some of the comments go back and forth, so it's kind of funny. 3 minutes.
Oh, right, yep. 3 minutes, guys. All right, here we go. This concludes it.
Okay, Jesus Christ. You guys need to get a longer fucking voicemail. This is the time I called now, and it's cut me off.
What do you want for free?
So, I'll make this quick. So, I really enjoyed the series overall. I think one thing it nails is kind of just like the feeling of a real summer camp. Although, I mean, I've never actually been to one of these fucking things, but I get it pretty well. I mean, when you compare it to, like, Friday the 13th, but what the hell do I know? So if I were to rank the films, I would say 2 is definitely my favorite, followed by 3, the original, and then Return to Sleepaway Camp. So those are basically my thoughts on the series. I already listened to you guys talk about parts 1 and 2, and I'm going to go back and listen to you guys talk about the rest of the series. Huge fan of the podcast, as you guys already know. Keep it up. And I also hope Brandon is still enjoying getting butt fucked by Black Phillip on a regular basis. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe I'll give you my thoughts on Green Room, which I actually was not a huge fan of.
What?
I seem to be the only person who wasn't a huge fan of it, but
Yeah, I remember writing that too.
maybe I'll call back and give you guys my thoughts on that another time if I rewatch it. All right, bye-bye.
Stephen Carpenter, our
Great
home
message,
voice.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It sounds like you liked the series the way I did. 2, 3, the original, and then Return.
Yeah, he has 1 below 2 and 3. Did you have 1 below 2 and 3?
Yeah, I gave 2 and 3, I think, a 7 out of 10. Because I said they're pretty much... It really is really, like, the same sort of, like, attitude and feeling for 3 is 2, with more souped-up kills, and a faster pace, and a better, even a better final chase. And then I said 1, I think I gave 6.5, and I gave Return the lowest rating.
Naturally. Well,
I
after
think
Survivor.
it's fun, but, well, Survivor was, yeah.
Do you think Return would have been better if the ending wasn't that it was Angela, but Alan, and he's naked, and instead of having a penis, he has a vagina?
Yes.
That's it.
Yep. You've nailed it.
Summed up.
Yep. I can't add to that. Good call.
Thanks.
Yeah, hey. Thank you. Rookie of the Year, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be here all week.
You can't beat him. You can't beat him. So yeah, that Stephen Carpenter, man, he's our homie. He's all over the group page and big supporter. Now we have voicemails. Nice, nice. Oh, by the way, our voicemail is 702-625-2224.
Evidently, only leave 3-minute messages.
Yes, 3 minutes is the limit. Well, it's their limit. It's not our limit. Obviously, we just played an 8-minute one. But see, he gets mad at me. He says something about the thing cutting him off. He's the fucking guy giving the what's the word? The slow burn voicemails. You get slow burn voicemails, slow burn movies, slow burn emails on this show.
Yeah, I forgot how the film ended, so it was good to hear again.
Yeah, Steven, you had to know this was coming. You know that they're going to tear you apart. Not me. I appreciate everything you've done, but not.
No,
these two
I
guys.
enjoyed the Stephen Carpenter Sleepaway Camp retrospective.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound legit to me.
Such an asshole.
Well, that's him, SC. Stephen Carpenter.
Nah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, SC Sleepaway Camp, too.
Oh
shit. Wow, he's definitely SC now, man. Straight up. He's famous for that voicemail now about Sleepaway. He's SC. Right on. SC. It's official.
Stevie Carp in the house.
Yeah.
SC.
So, you know what? Speaking of the group... No, I can't go there. Let me get this last voicemail. We have another voicemail.
Oh, wow, another one.
Yep, another one. A fresh one, hot off the presses. So hold on a second.
Hey guys, Derek here. I was thinking of something to leave a voicemail for you guys, and I thought of a very good concept for you guys. So I was thinking, if you guys did your own sort of slasher film, who would be your dream cast in your slasher film, and what would you have your killer look like? Like, what would his mask look like? What would you set the setting of your slasher film? Also, what would be your show-stopping kill if you did have one in your slasher? So yeah, hope to hear back from you guys. And as always, Brandon, stay nasally. Peace out.
Nice.
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
I love that question, and it's too hard to answer now. I want to think about that.
I know it's hard to answer. Thank you, Derek. Great question.
It is a great question. Could we
You
get
gotta-
back to him on 21? I actually want to think about that.
I made a slasher movie. I made a bunch of slasher movies, but the one that I put on thing that got no response is my student film from way back when I was studying cinematography. And it was called Spine Tingler, and it was a supernatural slasher flick, and it had multiple killers in it.
Wow.
And again, it's hard because I love the Jason mask, but you can't do it. We've talked about it, Dave, right? It just would be like, well, no.
Right.
Like, it's Friday the 13th owns that now. Whether it was ripped off, whether other movies did it before, it doesn't matter because it's notorious and iconic from that series. So,
I do like
a mask. I do like a mask, though. So, it's got to be like a mime's mask or something like that. I know that sounds more Michael Myers-ish, but I just mean like a blank, faceless mask.
Like Hush?
Like Hush, yeah. Fucking
so basically, your idea is Hush.
Hush.
No.
Fucking Christian Flanagan over here.
What a bunch of dicks.
That's a lot to think about.
Like your cast and everything.
He wanted to
have to get back to
I
this.
really want to answer that question legitimately. Like,
Okay,
so
so
it's
you
a
wanna
can't.
wait. If you're
I want to
gonna
answer that. I want to answer that on 21.
Okay, then we're all gonna wait.
Yeah, I might ask you to
Cliffhanger.
give me the details of the voicemail again, just to know everything I have to. But I definitely want to answer that legit on 21.
Well, then I'll come
That's
up with a
great.
better answer with like actual actors and actresses that people like, well-known ones.
Yeah, does he want us to do character
Yeah.
like dream characters or dream actors?
Show-stopping death.
I don't know. We'll make it a cliffhanger then.
Hey, cliffhanger, Derek.
We'll answer it in 2 shows. Only us. Only we could get a voicemail from someone and tell them we're not going to answer it for 2 more shows.
Well, how long ago did he leave that message?
Just a few hours ago.
You could have told us about it. We could have.
Never.
no,
We never know the emails. We never know the fucking voicemails.
There wasn't enough time. There just
Dave,
wasn't
look down by your feet. Is there a ball there? Because you surely fucking dropped it.
I told you I'm the worst host. See, I can't even fucking pass
starting
this
to believe it.
information on. See, I'm not claiming to be.
I'm
any
teasing. I'm teasing. No, I like this. Yeah, gives us
Careful
a-
when you get into bed tonight. You really shit the bed this time.
Yeah, when you go to bed, make sure you don't smell anything.
I like it. Gives us 2 shows to think.
Yeah, 2 shows will come back. I'm going to tell you right now, though, Christian, I have a way around it. As a Friday the 13th fanboy, considering my love for part 2, you know where I'm going. I'm good. I contribute it and fucking have something scary.
Christian's just gonna stick with Hush.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going Sackhead. I'll tell you right now. That's
Are
no
we
doubt
supposed
about
to be stealing them from like our favorites? Or
No, I think
come
we're
up
supposed to
with
create our own.
I can't do a Sackhead, you're telling me? So it's got to be something original?
Unless it's like a ball sack.
Okay.
Bolchinian.
Bolchinian. Oh, we can't
Chinballitis.
do it. It's Bolchinian from Sentinel, from Dave's favorite part.
Chinballitis, man. Butters in South Park.
Chin-
Well, everything's been done. I
Yeah.
can't rip off my own movie and put a mime's mask in?
Okay. Put the mime mask in. Now,
Mimes
let's
is
ask
good. That movie
Derek.
Judy had killer mimes.
Yeah, it did. Let's ask Derek though. But now it's a good reason for it to be
Flip
a
the script
cliffhanger.
on Derek.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit more information on what the rules are, and we'll make it a project. There you
Yeah,
go.
because we'll get the information before we record.
So there you go. Yes, we will.
And if
Do it
anybody
this-
wants to, hey, we'll start this trend. So forget the challenge between Roth and Zombie. If anybody wants to fund this, we'll make it a triple slasher feature. We'll make it for very little money, but we'll keep all the profits for the podcast.
Yeah, we will.
All
keep-
profits will go to Dave Z's new chair.
Yeah.
And to
All
move
right.
into a neighborhood with less crickets.
Wow, you're the one that brought the crickets out. Don't blame. Don't blame them for existing.
That episode hasn't dropped yet, has it? The cricket episode.
Oh, I guess not. No,
I
it
think
was
that was
81.
18.
81. It is 81. Right, 81, 18.
Yeah.
Now, okay, one more thing. Well, not one more thing, but Stephen Carpenter, SC, since we were talking about him, he left us a message. Not a message. He made a post in the group page. And by the way, if you're not on the group page and you're on Facebook, get on there. What are you waiting for? Just type in Exploding Heads Horror Podcast and boom, we'll come up. So, anyway, Stephen Carpenter put up a thing here. And it says, hey guys, I have a few ideas for some shows. I think it would be awesome if you guys did a director's spotlight on someone like John Carpenter. He has so many amazing films to talk about, from Halloween and The Thing to Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, and Vampires, just to name a few. I also think it would be cool if you guys did some audio commentaries for some classic horror films as well. Any chance of these things happening? No. I'm sorry. Poor SC. I teased him about his voicemail. Now I'm making a joke. Okay. In all seriousness, though.
Well, if he leaves another, 65 voicemails, he could probably cover every Carpenter film.
Let's give him a challenge. Challenge to the listener.
Actually, no, I think it's a great idea. I loved. I went to the Fog reunion panel at Monster Mania, and it was awesome hearing them talk about John Carpenter. Obviously, Adrienne Barbeau was there, and she was married to him. They have a kid together, and it was interesting to hear them talk about Carpenter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we got to get that. Yeah, I want to hear all about your convention. Actually,
it was weird. The one thing they kept doing for like the first 20 minutes is they kept saying John was. And I was with Brett, and she actually turned to me. She's like, "Is he still alive?" I'm like, "Yeah." They keep messing up and doing that. Eventually, they stopped doing it. They made it sound like he was, like he's no more.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
It was a blast.
It's just weird. Like they really didn't know the person that was saying that.
No, it was Adrienne Barbeau. They have a child. They have a son together.
Oh, she said it.
She kept saying he was, and then she's like. Then she was like, he's not was, he is. They started correcting themselves. But Brett turned to me. Brett got confused for a sec because she's like, he's still alive, right? I'm like, yeah. But I could see how you can get confused listening to it like that.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So check it out. I did a thing with Banana Laser. We did it, but we did it over 3 shows. We did The Thing, The Fog, and Christine. We did it over. Of course, the way we do it here, we'll do all 3 on one show. It'll be that kind, like we did with Clay Barker,
Yeah.
A John Carpenter show. So I guess we could do it. I don't know what 3 movies we would do.
We each pick one.
All right. I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, the ones I haven't done.
Or you pick 2 and I pick 1.
I take Christian's vote.
Christian's not even here anymore.
Great.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's had enough. Okay, so yeah, we'll do it, right? Does that sound good to you guys? What do you think?
A John Carpenter show. Sounds awesome.
Okay.
One of my favorite directors.
All right, then we will do it. Sounds good. As far as audio commentaries, maybe, but I don't know how to do it. Christian would have to...
Maybe it will be different because we have 3 of us. That's how TGIF 13 started, not to keep bringing that up, but I'm just saying, I get bored if there's silence and whatnot, and I've listened to some podcasts where there are silences, even if there's multiple people or they're just making random chit. Like, it doesn't have to be relevant to the movie all the time, but the reality is that you've got to keep a flow and a pace going. And I find it's very difficult when you're not the ones that made the movie and we're just commenting on it. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff to be said about Friday the 13th and some of the classics, but I mean, to just keep going.
You got the Rookie of the Year here.
On and on. Yeah, but it
Hop
can get
on my
boring.
back. I'll carry you guys.
It can definitely get boring. Trust me, they're dry spots. Oh, there's dry spots.
Oh,
we're talking for 4 hours.
Not when I get done with you.
Yeah.
There's no dry spots.
Jesus.
I knew you were going somewhere when you said dry spots.
You set it up perfectly.
I 100% knew it. Yes. I was just like, all right, Brandon's going to say
So it started as a good idea for the commentaries. I don't know. It's not something that interests me anymore, but I don't know if you guys...
we don't have to do it. Hell.
So then no.
It's okay. 1 yes, 1 no. That's not bad.
Yeah. 1 yes, 1 distant maybe.
Well, check it out. He wouldn't want us to do something that was going to be subpar anyway.
Nothing we do is subpar.
Well, if you ask Christian...
We could come on here and read the phone book, and people will listen.
Now you're getting cocky because we hit number 1? No.
Very cocky. Yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
We're top of the mops here.
Don't take it for granted.
He already has. He let it go. It's got into his head.
Yeah, that it has. That it has. You better slow your roll, homie.
Slow your roll.
Something. Brandon.
Yes.
No, fuck that.
Fuck him. Fuck that guy.
Christian. It's your turn. We've had a lot of Brandon so far.
Fuck.
Anything
I know.
I'll never get too much Brandon.
I've already edited the first hour of this. Out.
Oh, shit.
The audience is with me.
Did you cut down Carbon SC's voicemail? Did you edit that?
I'll trim it.
I'm sorry. I see. I'm teasing him too much. You're the best, man.
Those were his first 40 voicemails and his last 40 voicemails. Okay, that's it. SC,
right.
You're awesome. You know we're fucking around.
Yes. All right. Christian, do you have anything to report with your challenge?
Yeah, I watched 6 movies.
6?
Yes.
6?
Oh, do tell.
Yeah. 5 of them were on the list. One of them was not.
That's okay.
So here are the 6. Devil's Pass.
Ah, that's the one. I told you. Devil's... Okay. All right.
The Conspiracy.
All right. Right on.
Hangman.
There you go. 2016.
The Tunnel. Exists.
Nice.
And Apollo 18.
Did you see Apollo 13 first?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Apollo 18. That's the one when they go to the moon, right?
Yeah, that wasn't on the list, but
It wasn't on the list because I
watched
forgot
it.
it. I would recommend that. Okay, let's start at the top. Go ahead, man. It's your segment. Rock and
Okay,
roll.
here are my 2 that stood out. The Conspiracy and Exists. Those were my 2 favorite out of this batch. The Conspiracy, I gave an 8 out of 10. Exists, I gave a 7.5 out of 10. That was hovering around an 8. I don't know. Again, there's not much difference between a 7.5 and an 8. But when I look at what I've been giving 8s, I'm just like, this is just, it's almost there, but it's not quite an 8. And the rest of them all got a 6. So Devil's Pass, I actually loved the setup, but I didn't like the final act, actually, that much.
The very last thing, I can feel you a little bit on it, but I like the fact, the creep factor, especially with that guy seeing that at one point in his life, and him basically foreseeing what his destiny was going to be, if you will. I don't want to spoil it. That creeps me the fuck out in the way they show it a couple times. But I like the story and the stuff.
That one's on Netflix, right?
It was for a while. I don't know if it still is.
It's funny because the 2 that you picked as your favorite are the only 2 that I've seen, and The Conspiracy. That blew me away the first time I saw it.
I loved it. I've only watched it once.
That's a creepy film. That's a creepy film.
Filmed in Toronto.
Yes.
I don't know if the whole thing was a Canadian production, but it was filmed in Toronto, even though it's supposed to take place in Canada. That's not the reason why I loved it, but I always toot the Canadian horn. But it was a great setup, great delivery. I liked the way the movie played out, and freaking creepy.
Very creepy.
Hangman, I was really looking forward to it. I like Jeremy Sisto, and it actually had some real, some people that you'd recognize, which maybe for a found footage movie might not work in its favor. I mean, that's arguable, but because found footage, you kind of think it's not supposed to be movie stars and people you've seen. But I guess you can argue that. But I gave it a 6 out of 10 because creepy as hell. Creepy.
Hangman.
The idea of it, creepy as hell.
I haven't seen it yet.
But the beginning of it, the whole theory behind how the killer works and how he goes about his fighting the people and how he sets up and everything.
Scary.
Creepy. But then it's an hour of like watching people live their lives and whatever like that, and I'm just like, It was like, come on, because it's these movies, as you well know, they're already like an hour 15. And
so what about what about the payoff? Was the payoff good at least?
The payoff is quick. It's
but
good, but it's
so it's a pacing issue with you.
30
for that.
seconds to a minute, and the last whatnot. So that's what hinders it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of boring. So the idea behind it is great.
It sounds like it's a solid 6. If it was just paced better or had more.
And I might be in the minority here, but again, the star factor. I like the star. Just the dilemma is that, again, does that work against the movie? Because when it's unknowns.
Yeah, it makes it creepier when it's unknowns because it's like watching home videos of regular people.
Yeah. And The Tunnel, I feel bad for them because I don't understand why they put that movie for free on iTunes. I know they say you can support it and whatnot, but it's falls in line with all these other found footage movies. Probably the reason, again, great setup. I like the way it looks, but again, it just kind of plays it kind of like Devil's Pass. At the final act didn't really win me over that much because they're
that happened.
Dave said.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
Yeah, I got bored.
Yeah,
What did you rate Devil's Pass?
6 out of 10.
6. Okay.
And then Apollo 18 actually. Apollo 18, here's the thing about Apollo 18. I've tried to watch this twice before, and I keep falling asleep within the first 15 minutes. Don't know why. That's what happened. So I'm like, I just got to give this movie a chance and watch it. Now, I think the setup is good. Then I think just like some of the other ones, it's kind of boring. They keep the space thing going, but it's kind of boring for its for its short running time, but it has a creepy couple of moments and a fairly decent payoff. And so, again, it's worth checking out, but I gave it a 6 because, again, I don't think it's a full recommendation, but it's definitely worth seeing. And it's definitely not mediocre by any means.
So even the ones you didn't like all got 6s. The tunnel you gave a 6 too?
And that one I gave a 6, and then as Exists, I really liked. I gave 7.5. I thought that one was really well done.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's the Bigfoot one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked the way it was set up. I don't know why I wasn't looking forward to it. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't watch previews for any of these, by the way. And the Exists, I really, really liked it because, again, it just played out. And I didn't feel like that overstayed its welcome at all. And I thought it was really creepy. And I thought the acting was all realistic.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by that one.
Much better than Willow Creek.
Yeah, Willow Creek, is that the
Bobcat one?
Bobcat one, yeah. I haven't seen that. That's
and I'm a big fan of Bobcat as a director. I mean, he's done primarily non-horror stuff. He's fantastic as a director, but Willow Creek, I was very disappointed in the payoff.
I'll have to check that out too.
But definitely check it out. But
So-
yeah.
Yeah, and like if I'm looking at the actual list, Dave, I think the ones that are left are 388 Arletta Avenue, Alien Abduction, Crow's Nest, Atrocious, and Area 51. I think I just have those 5 left.
Damn, I better get moving on Boarding House.
Christian,
What's the matter?
What are we gonna do with you?
you said sorry.
Oh, I failed.
I've been sitting here for 3 minutes, not saying a word, just disgusted. You failed that one.
When did I say it? When did I utter those words?
I don't know. At one point you said it. You definitely said it.
Just edit it out. Edit out the part where Dave's
Nope.
yelling at you for it, and,
Nope.
and you can still win the challenge.
Nope.
Nope.
I failed
You know,
it.
we keep it real on Exploding Heads. We keep it real. So, but I'm excusing that. You failed. Okay. My F challenge is going pretty good, I think, so far. But you failed that, but you did so good. 6 movies. I mean, come on. That's great. And let me tell you something. Exists is my favorite of that bunch. No question. It was in my top 10, I think, for that year that it came out. That's awesome.
It was good. And I had it at an 8. I don't know why I chipped down a half a point right before we went to air. Right before we started recording. But it was because it was tied with The Conspiracy and up with my favorites of the found footage. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's not far behind. Anyway,
That's cool. That's cool. And I probably I'm even higher. I might even get 8.5 probably for Exists. But anyway, I really like Exists. I think it's the best Bigfoot movie. Period. It might be the only one. I don't know. I do like Willow Creek. I saw Willow, and I've only seen it once, but I saw it by myself in the right atmosphere. I have a decent sound system here, and something about it, the way the sound design was, it creeped me out. It's a movie that needs to be heard in the right way. So that it was an experience for me. I got
use your ears.
I do use my ears, and I used them really well that night when I watched that movie.
No, I definitely agree. I loved everything about the film. I just felt like the payoff was like, I don't know. It was like, it was just a little let down in the end.
Don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Don't remember Hangman. How about that? I just thought it's the newest one, and I saw it, and it struck me, and I said, okay, this movie's good. And I don't remember anything about Hangman except the setup.
I kind of want to watch all these now, because I haven't seen 4 of those that he mentioned, and I kind of want to start watching them.
well,
Conspiracy's good stuff. I agree.
People do like the Hangman. Hangman. It's just what I found with it is like it was like so creepy at the beginning and then I was just like, oh. And I just kept going, and yes, it's still creepy, the idea is creepy, but I was getting a little. I would admit I was going, okay, something else has got to happen now, and I feel like they sandwiched something in so that something did happen, and then the ending just kind of happened so quickly. You're just like, whoa, and it is shocking, and it definitely boosts it up. So
Okay.
it ends on a high note, but yeah, I just found it a little dragged a little bit.
That's okay. That's still, I mean, and you felt the same way I did about the tunnel, which is great. You know, that the third act, you could have hit 1.5 speed probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I found that one actor that is, because it's done documentary style as well, that one guy, I know it was supposed to be his character, but it felt like he was like smirking at the camera all the time. So it kind of took me out of it. I'm like, well, you're supposed to be not, like, I just couldn't. He reminded me of one of my friends I grew up with, who my dad always said, oh, he's a horrible actor because he's always smiling in every scene he's in. And I'm like, this is what this guy reminded me of. They always take me out of the picture. I'm like, why is he smirking?
Wow, really? I'll have to watch it. I gotta watch it again. That's interesting.
That was it. That's from this year, Hangman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I believe it was released in 2016. Yeah,
It was. That's why I watched it. I saw it was out. And
Cool.
that was on either Show Me or Netflix.
I believe
Netflix.
it is on, or was on Netflix at some point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good.
excellent.
I'm happy with those ratings too. That's good. That's fair enough. So I mean,
You're
there
giving
hasn't
better
been-
ratings to found footage films than you are to some of the main reviews we're doing.
Right. Has there been a stinker yet?
I can't.
That I've reviewed, not of this batch. No,
That
no,
I've
no.
challenged you to. Right. There is not.
No, and funny enough, like I don't think anything came in under a 6. My least favorite, I'd say, is Alone with Her, which I gave a 6. But
Okay.
funny enough, if I think about that, I'd say I liked Handmaiden better than Alone with Her. So sometimes, there's discrepancies with these reviews. And Nightlight,
Hey.
I was expecting more from. So I think that's what the letdown was, because you sort of boosted I guess.
I didn't though. I
Yeah,
only
he
boosted the
was
third
talking
act.
that one up. He was talking about Fleshlight
I
for a
was
while.
not. All I know, I was not. Damn it! All I said was it was all about the third act.
Well,
I
no.
said it's the opposite of the tunnel.
Like I said, Devil's Due. I said Devil's Due, which wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
But I added on the list. I said was a 6, but I even said 5.5, but I ended up giving it a 6. But yeah, so that was like probably, again,
Everything above average.
but yeah, worth
Yeah.
checking out. And yeah, even the Gallows, I think because Brandon, you came down on it so
I don't hate
much
it.
last year. I actually thought it was good. It wasn't great. I think I gave it a 5 out of 10 though. I don't
Look,
like it.
I'll be honest. Last year was, like I said, 159 new movies watched
Yeah.
for that year. This year I'm at like 20 something right now. I'll probably get. I don't know how many I'll get to. Maybe 60, 70, because there's still a lot of films I want to see. But you can't watch 160 new movies in a year and not just start hating everything towards the end. That's literally what happened. I
mean-
mean, it did.
Yeah, and the Gallows was very generic.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, I think I gave it a 2. It probably deserves higher tun a 2, but like I said, I was just like, I hated anything. You could have put on The Godfather at that one. At that point, I probably would have hated it. This fucking sucks. Who is this Al Pacino guy?
Well, because we have such a big show the next time, obviously, I'm going to see if I can get these other 5 done for episode 21.
Yeah, and I gotta get Boarding House done, so I beat you.
Yeah, do it. It's a challenge. It's a race.
It's on.
It's a foot race. Let me say this: what you have remaining, I don't know if any of them are very strong. I think they're all movies that I said it's all about the third act. What were they again? It was like Crow's Nest,
Crow's
and
Nest, Alien Abduction,
Alien Abduction. Okay,
388 Arletta Avenue,
I like that the most of those so far. Okay.
Atrocious, and Area 51.
Atrocious is really good.
That's solid too. Atrocious and
Spanish.
Arletta.
That's the Spanish one that I keep saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. And Area 51, it's 6 out of 10, I'd say maybe. So that just be prepared.
Did you have the last? You didn't have the last Exorcism 2 on your list, right?
No, it's not. I don't even think that is found footage. Believe it or not.
Okay, I don't know either.
Yeah, part 2 was not found footage.
Okay,
Yeah.
just like Quarantine 2 wasn't found footage, right? So weird that they do that.
Yeah,
I never saw Quarantine 2. I don't.
I never did either. Nope.
No, I haven't either. I just remember it not being found. Like the preview for it was not a found footage movie.
Yeah, no, I never
Right.
saw it. But yeah, no, but Last Exorcism 2, I think, was her in college now, the girl.
Very good. Very, very good.
I feel like I'm slacking now.
I'm killing it now in 2016 watches.
Yeah.
Is anybody with me? Anybody have 2016 watches or no?
I have a few, but I saw you post that, and I was like, man, I can't wait to hear what he's been watching.
I'll tell you, one, two.
I've seen 3 since the last time, that I haven't mentioned to you guys that I've seen.
3. Oh, see, well, I've seen 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Has anyone seen Bite?
Not yet.
No,
it's
not
on
yet.
the list. It's on the list.
Okay, check it out. Check out Bite. Girl gets bit. Girl comes back home from vacation. Has a strange relationship with her mother-in-law. They all live in the same place with her man. And turns into like a Fly type movie. Where, it's body horror, where, things are going against her. And that's all I'm going to say.
And you were okay with it being body horror?
Yeah, that kind of body horror, yeah. I was okay with it. I was. Yeah, there might
When
have been a few.
when it's so over the top that it can't be real.
It's just, yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But either way, it was a good movie, and I would give it an 8 out of 10. So
8 out of 10. Nice.
Yeah, I give that an 8 out of 10. Okay, I'm going to say this, and then you can say, Christian, have you seen any or no? You just found footage out.
No, I don't think I've seen anything recently that, just because I have watched all these found footage movies.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, you're doing your challenge. That's good. No sweat. Well, you'll be watching these after we talk about them, I'm sure. So,
Not mine.
check it out. Darling. Has anyone seen Darling?
I started it.
And that's on Netflix.
Yes, it is.
And I haven't, and again, I've been wanting to watch that since it came out, and I haven't. It was on my list with February, Green Room, and there was another one that I think was at TIFF last year, or someone that was reviewing them or saying these are coming out.
Now, was Darling this year?
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember that was on the list, and I couldn't wait to see it.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I've started it.
Check it out, man. It's pretty fucked up. Oh, I F-bombed. Damn it.
Oh!
3 strikes, I'm out, huh?
Fail.
Epic effing fail. I'm still gonna
Fail.
keep it PG-13 though, for the most. Well, not PG-13, but I'm not gonna F-bomb. We'll see. We'll see if I can do it again. Anyway, Darling. It's out of control. It's pretty art house. It's black and white. It's very Polanski.
Yeah, that's what they compare it to. Repulsion.
So I watched Repulsion for the first time. Didn't you guys tell me I had to watch that movie this year? Okay.
Yeah.
So because I watched this movie, Darling, and it's black and white, and a lot of stuff is like Repulsion. Some people were even basically saying it's a ripoff of Repulsion. So I said, well, I got to see this Repulsion now to see. So I did watch Repulsion, and I think this movie is basically a tribute to it. Amongst other Polanskis, there's some and I read this because I haven't seen The Tenant, but other people said that this is a Darling, that Darling is a what do you call it? It's a Repulsion, Rosemary's Baby, Tenant type thing.
Okay.
Where they mix it all in, but the storyline is a lot. It took a while to get there, but the storyline is very similar. Where ultimately you get a girl alone in a place.
It's beautifully shot.
House. Yes, oh, absolutely.
From what I've seen, I mean, I've watched the first Darling. I watched the first half hour. I mean, all Polanski's films are beautifully shot, but Darling was beautifully shot from what I saw.
It really was. It was a really good movie. It's very art house, very cool, just trippy. Just I don't want to say too much, but it does take things from Repulsion. But strong recommend. I give it 8.5.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm high on it, and I thought it did do a lot from Repulsion. It really did. But it's weird because in Repulsion, the girl calls her Darling. Her sister calls her Darling a couple times, and this girl gets called Darling by the girl that she's basically house sitting, and that's what this girl keeps calling her. So, but that's how this one starts. She arrives at the house, and you're the house sitter, and the last house sitter killed herself. They told her, and things happen, and I won't even get into it. There might be something in the house that's haunting her or possessing her. There might not be. Maybe she's crazy. She had some bad things happen to her. But that's how this movie begins. With Repulsion, she's with her sister for a while. There's other things going on. And then it leads to her being alone. And then some of the things are similar. But it's very influenced by that movie, yeah. But regardless, pretty solid stuff. So see it. And I'm glad I watched Repulsion. But I actually think I prefer Darling to Repulsion. But whatever.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Go ahead. You want to go? We can go back and forth. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll keep mine quick because I'm not sure if I know I mentioned Lights Out, that I saw it last week and
Yeah,
or 2 weeks ago,
and
just above average in terms of filmmaking, but just I don't know, it just fell short for me. Just didn't. It's too much with jump scares. Too much was rushed, and too many tropes.
It felt Hollywood.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad film by any means. Just I gave it a 6.5, which might even be a little high. It's in that 6.5 range for me. But everybody was giving it like 8s and stuff, and
yeah, I've heard a lot.
it's just for me it wasn't there. And then I watched the Funhouse Massacre.
I still haven't watched that. I
know, yeah, I know it was a limited run in 2015. I'm counting it for this year. It doesn't really matter. Again, certain elements of it I loved, and then other stuff was just like ridiculous. Again, I came in at 6.5.
Just like I did for that.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. In fact, I remember thinking that I gave it the same rating as you did. They definitely need to focus more on certain characters than others, and they didn't. And then the ending was just stupid. Then it gets sort of like supernatural almost.
Yeah, it's a little
you know what I'm talking about, but just the very last scene. I'm like, come on, that's just stupid.
Yeah, but it's a slasher and it's above average, so
yeah, oh definitely,
it should be watched. Christian, you should see it. There's good gore.
Yeah, you know what? I another one. Good Intentions. Put it on. Fell asleep. I do that a lot, right? Because I'll start putting them on after the wife goes to bed. Because there's no ones that I just know she's not interested in.
Right, I'm with you. Yep,
so
I understand.
And
it's fun though. It's fun, even though it's not great. It's still fun.
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna say fun.
Funhouse.
Hey!
I screwed up, by the way. I did watch another one.
What'd you watch? Let's hear it.
All Girls Weekend.
What? I never even heard of it. Is it? You sure it's not pornography?
It's a
vivid video.
I'm almost positive I got that title right, and it's definitely one of the worst movies I've seen this year. So yeah,
stay tuned.
It's not. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be showing up on a list.
Ah, nice.
Fairly abysmal acting, which could be forgiven. It was like a guy grabbed a camera, grabbed 4 girls that can't act, a horrible script, went into the woods. I honestly think any one of us can make a better movie with next to no prep. There was a couple of good gore scenes, but too little, and not a good payoff, and it was really forced. It was a bad movie. I actually scored it, I think, a 3 out of 10.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's low.
Can't wait to hear you rant on it on the year-end show.
Well, I think it's going to be pretty much. I would like you guys to see it, maybe just to see if I'm coming too harsh on it. But I was not impressed by any means.
Do you have more or no? I got a couple.
I have one more. I watched the anthology film Holidays. 8 shorts. 8 different holidays. Heard nothing but bad things about it, and to be honest, I just didn't enjoy it at all. I really didn't. I liked a couple of the shorts. Here's how I ranked them. There were 8 of them. I thought my favorite one, believe it or not, was Kevin Smith's.
Wow.
Which is usually the one that people hate the most. He did Halloween. Yeah, it didn't have much to do with Halloween, but it was fun. It didn't take itself too seriously, and I felt like a lot of the ones that took themselves too seriously just totally came up short. There was one for Father's Day, which I kind of liked. It was really creepy and atmospheric, which I kind of liked as my number 2. Then Valentine's Day was good. What else was there? There was Easter, which was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, which was kind of fun. Christmas was okay. And then St. Patrick's Day was bad, and Mother's Day was just atrocious. Mother's Day was just the worst.
I was really looking forward to this movie. And again, I haven't heard anything but
I heard
negative.
One person today wrote that they actually enjoyed it. Actually, 2 people. Whose opinions I respect. 2 people. And I respect both of their opinions. They just absolutely really love the film.
I didn't love it, but I have a different opinion. Tell me this. What's your rate? What do you rate this movie?
I gave it a 5 out of 10 because I had
okay.
I had a couple of shorts that were above. I mean, even Mother's Day being the lowest, I would probably give it like a 4, and then the highest I'd probably give like a 6.5, 7. Like everything averaged out to just be like average.
Let me tell you, I give it a 5 out of 10, but I recommend it because the ones I like. I mean, I'm not saying I love all of them, but for me, I give it a 5 out of 10, and it actually works out. I cannot believe, for me, that Kevin Smith was fucking either the second worst or the worst. The one that was your favorite. Dude, yeah. And not because it wasn't. Granted, that's one more thing about it that I didn't like, that there wasn't really anything Halloween going on for the most part. That's a minor quibble. I just don't. It was one trick. The thing, the setup was okay, but once it got to this one thing, it was kind of like it went on and on. It was like, remember when we discussed Tales from the Hood and how I said they kept doing that same thing over and over, and I think you guys pretty much agree. One of you guys agreed. I think Christian agreed that it went on and they kept repeating. That's what happened here. It's like this guy ends up being fucking tortured. Oh, F-bomb. This guy ends up being tortured, but it just goes on and on. It gets more goofy and more goofy. It just, to me, it falls off the rails. I guess it was a good idea, but did not like it.
I like that, the fact that it was goofy.
I did not.
What was your favorite?
Worst thing Kevin Smith has done. I'll tell you, my favorite. Here's what I liked. I liked Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day was very fun. I thought it was a good start. It was very predictable, but it was a good start. I was like, yes. Okay, I'm into it now.
It was. I agree. St. Patrick's Day wasn't good, but it was just weird. But I don't hate it. It's just like
I was like, what the hell? And then the ending, I'm like, what? I checked out.
Easter might be my favorite. It's batshit crazy.
It is. And
I like what they're talking about. It's something that, people always wondered, it's Easter, and what does that have to do with Jesus? I like their take on that and where they went with it, and the fact that it's a little bit, blasphemous to some people.
Yeah.
I just laugh at that because, they just take everything too serious. But I like that. Mother's Day, weaker, not terrible. It's just good idea. Definitely a good idea. But where went in the second half?
Pro-life propaganda. Like Hellions or...
Hellions I'll agree to. That I never thought about that. But Father's Day was pretty good.
Right? That was really, really shot well and set up well. Very, very eerie.
Yes. And we're going to just... Yeah, it had like a Session 9 thing going on.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig it. I dig Father's Day. Yeah. That might be the favorite. If it's either Father's Day or Easter, those two I like the most. And then Christmas I like. You did not like it. I really liked Christmas.
I ranked it lower. It was fun. I liked it. It was more silly. So like, even though I liked Kevin Smith's the most, this one just was. I don't know. It was okay.
Well, how long are the segments? Like, how long are the two that you liked?
They were all like 8 to 10 minutes, probably the most.
Okay, so like even if they had the 4 top ones there, it wouldn't have not been a long movie. So you couldn't have said like, if like the top 4 were a standalone movie, it could have been a 10 out of
none of them drag on. Even the horrible ones don't drag on because they were all no longer than 10 minutes, I think.
But that's what I thought about like the Tales from Halloween last year. I
didn't love Tales of Halloween.
See, I really enjoyed it because I just thought nothing overstayed its welcome. It was fun, and All Hallows Eve 2, I didn't know what to expect from that. And again, I thought that was nothing overstayed its welcome.
It was okay.
Everything was fun.
Those 3 films for me fall all in the same boat, like that average, slightly above average area, that 5 to 6 range. Tales from Halloween and All Hallows Eve, I do have to revisit. Maybe I'll revisit Holidays at some point because it is, it'll probably stay on Netflix for a while. But
I'm intrigued to watch it now because maybe I'll enjoy it just as much as I enjoyed those 2.
Yeah,
check it out, man.
They're not horrible by any means.
It's worth
I haven't been blown away by them. I want to see. It's very ABCs. It's hit and miss.
That's okay, and there you go. And that's the disappointment in the movie for me. I was expecting a VHS.
Yeah.
And I ended up coming up with an ABC's of horror.
Yeah, that's
or whatever it's called. That's the show, kind of. No, ABC's of Death. It felt like that with the way some of it was presented and things like that, and I wasn't anticipating that, and that right away kind of cheapened it a little bit. But all in all, for an anthology, you should watch it. You're gonna like some more than others.
Yeah.
But for me, like I said, I'm 4 and 4, maybe even 5 and 3. But ultimately, I give it a 5 out of 10. Yeah, some are better than others. Some you might think are piss poor. You might have zero patience with them. But to me, none stunk from beginning to end.
Yes, I would go with like 3. I would go with 4 above average for me. I'd probably stop at Easter. I'd go Easter, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, and Halloween is my 4 above, and then everything else is average or below.
I have 3 of the same 4 with you, except replace Halloween with Christmas. That's what it was. And I forgot about New Year's. New
Year's, I mean...
Forgot. Might be good, might not. I just forgot what it was for some reason.
Yeah, it was the... No, I won't say anything.
Have you guys seen a movie called... It's not from this year, called Hazmat?
I've never seen it. It's on Hulu.
The reason I ask is because that one I was talking about, All Girls Weekend, supposedly that's his follow-up, and Hazmat was his first film, and this All Girls Weekend is his follow-up to that.
Oh,
Simon directed it, but admittedly, it's got a pretty cool poster. I'll give it that.
All Things or whatever it's called.
All Girls Weekend.
Okay.
It's got a cool poster, but it's deceiving because everything else about it is just been there, done that. Nothing new or fresh at all. So, sorry, I just thought if Hazmat was some great movie that I just wasn't aware of.
No.
Yeah. I remember the cover. I didn't see it. I saw the cover to Hazmat. I was like, this doesn't look like anything that interests me.
I don't think so either. No, I don't think I'd even bother. Maybe if you have Hulu, it's there, so it's free. So, whatever. There's 2 more I'm going to bring up. They look like people.
You watched it finally? I've been recommending it for forever.
I finally watched it. Yeah,
I told Dave to watch it. He checked it out right away.
See?
I've been recommending this film to everyone. Nobody's listening to me. Finally, someone listens.
Yeah, but I don't think I have the same opinion as you.
Well, I can see. Go ahead.
I was okay with it. I was on board until the end.
Oh, come on. That ending is brilliant.
No, I don't like it.
You didn't like it? Okay.
It left you still scratching your head, and if not scratching your head, pissed off. That's the way I
wasn't scratching my head, and I definitely wasn't pissed off. I could see people being pissed off in that direction, but I didn't think it was much of a head scratcher. I think it just answered itself at the end, and it was kind of like a totally different way.
It's unanswered.
I didn't think there was anything on it. Oh, I could explain it to you.
Yeah, well, I guess
I'll knowledge you one day.
It's just like, I don't know. I just expected more out of the way something like that was going to end. But not a bad movie, and I will encourage everyone to watch it. Especially if it's on Netflix and you have it, get it, watch it. But
what'd you give it?
What did I give it? I would give it I'd give it a 6.
Wow, I gave it an 8.
Yeah, maybe if I dug the ending, it would help. But I could see endings are important, and usually
they are. And if you're not on board with it, you're not on board with it. I was happy with the ending.
Right on. And, check it out, though.
Right on.
One more, Sweet Home.
Oh, that's on Netflix. I just added that.
That's why I watched it. Yes. And,
Yeah, I had that on the list, too. Is it good, though?
Yes.
It is.
Good. Yeah. It's,
kind of sighed before you said something. I was like, uh-oh.
No, it's good. It's,
okay.
It's kind of like, how do you say this? Ultimately, it's like a home invasion type thing, but not in a home, not in their home. 2 people being somewhere else in an apartment building that they're not supposed to be at. And
yeah, you know what? I started this, and I fell asleep again. But I remember, like I said, my MO. Trust me, it will be the last time you hear this. I can't believe it's like 3 times. And I just apologize again.
And you apologized a few minutes ago, too. I heard that one, too.
God damn it.
Yeah, oh well, you're getting there. Only 4. So you have 4 stories, and I have only 3 Fs, I think. So, yeah. That's the challenge. We gotta have that challenge.
What about They're Watching? Anybody see this one yet?
No, it's next on my list, though.
Yeah, it's on my queue. Haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's from this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Looking forward to that one.
But let me wrap it up. Sweet Home, good gore. Good,
nice.
Some good kills, interesting stuff. And I'm not really a home invasion guy usually, but this did what it had to do, didn't run long, an hour and 20 minutes. So it was paced just fine. And that I'll give an 8 out of 10.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So check them out. All right, well,
you got those crickets excited.
I know. I'm going to shut those crickets off in a minute. Right before we go into our main event. We have a lot of other stuff. We're going to have to put it on the back burner for show 21. We have new segments we're going to discuss.
And Monster Mania, episode 21.
There you go, Monster Mania. Yes. Some other challenges we have going on that we're going to do. So, and a couple other little things. Well, all we're going to do is we put up a poll. Who's your favorite director? Because, we're doing another Flanagan film. And if anyone listened to Hush, I think we all pretty much agreed that he was 3 for 3. I think. Yes. I know I did.
I did.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So the fact that we're seeing another one, and maybe if this is good, he could be falling in line as being.
Is he 4 for 4? Is he not?
That's
Find
right.
out after the break.
Stay tuned. I guess if we had something to play, we could have a break, but we're not breaking. We don't break here. So I put up a thing on Facebook on the group page. Who's your favorite director? I did it on Twitter. I did it on Amino. I did it around. Got a lot of different submissions. We got a lot of people that voted on that one in the group page. Some outrageous amount. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah. I voted. I voted for everyone, if you noticed.
You see.
I had to. I don't like to play favorites. I do have certain favorites, but I noticed if you were adding a person, you automatically had to keep your vote for that person. Otherwise, it disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Because I added Adam Green because he wasn't on there, and then I was like, okay, I like Adam Green, but I was going to pick someone else, and then when I clicked someone else, it disappeared. I was
Jason Lloyd screwed it up. When you set up a poll, you're supposed to only let them pick one option. I do it all the time when I do our year polls,
I picked every single person on there.
Unbelievable. So it wasn't really maybe as many people voting as I thought then. Since
no, you just see my face on everyone. I even voted for the guy who did Escort Service.
Well, there you go. Well, I shouldn't be complaining because he set it up. We were talking about it in a different thread, and then I said, oh man, I really should have created a poll. And I said, but I'm too lazy right now, and I'm doing something. I'm watching a movie. So Jason Lloyd created the poll, so I can't really badmouth him.
It's not enough he's running the Horrorphilia Network. You made him set up a poll too?
What a guy.
Christian, you okay?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap this up quick. But I'll tell you what. James Wan ends up winning. He got a lot of votes. I'm a little surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be. Second place is Rob Zombie, but by a good 10 votes, I think. And then below him is Mike Flanagan. So then we have Wingard, Marshall, McLean, Green.
Wingard's a good one too.
Yeah, I would say that those. Yeah, it's pretty much that's the big five. It was Wan, Zombie, Flanagan, Wingard, and Marshall. That's the big five right there.
No love for Roth, huh?
No love for Roth. No.
I like the fact that people added what was it, Eggers, who directed The Witch, and what's the guy's name who directed Mitchell? David Robert Mitchell, who directed It Follows.
Right. Yeah.
I like the fact, but I feel like don't you have to do a couple entries in the genre to really? Because these guys might not necessarily stay in the horror genre.
This is true.
And I forgot to add, and I should have, but Anna Lily Amirpour, who did Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, because her next film is going to be a cannibal film.
Somebody said that on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, did they? I don't have Twitter. I don't twit.
Well, I just twit for us. That's it.
Thank you.
It's only
Thank you for
us.
being a twit.
And I have stuff out there. And if we have more time, I get into detail on who tweeted what and everything else. But that's okay. The bottom line is that we got responses everywhere. And James Wan took first. So, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but I am a little bit. I like where Zombie is. Because like I said, I've made no bones about it. Rob Zombie is my current favorite horror director. For me, I haven't seen the cartoon, but for movies, regular movies, for me, he's 4 out of 5. And I said if Flanagan should come up and knock my socks off with Ouija too. I said that. I didn't even know this one was coming out when I made that statement. So now, if he does something good with this, and he's 4 for 4, tell you what, we'll see what happens. If he goes 5 for 5, I'll tell you what, if Rob Zombie shits the bed with 31, who knows? So
it's a lot of scenarios to play out here.
A lot of scenario. But the bottom line is, for me, it's Zombie.
Okay.
So I think it's for all of us. Well, no, it's...
It was me. Zombie.
All right.
I like Rob Zombie, but I honestly I'm Zombie, I'm Juan, I'm Wingard, and well, I'll let you know if it's hit or miss with Flanagan after tonight.
Right. So who's your one pick then? Is it James Wan? Are you on that?
Maybe I'll let us talk about this film for a little while, and then I'll make a decision at the end of the show.
All right, yeah. Okay, let's have a little cliffhanger.
Yeah, a little cliffhanger, because
that's why you're here.
I don't know where this is going. There's got to be a cliffhanger.
That's true. Yeah, I shouldn't say too much either. What ifs and what ifs. So, but yeah, James Wan came up as the number one. So that's that. Now, I guess we should get into this. This is what we're here for. This is the main event.
Let's do it.
Finally. Show didn't end up as short as I said it was going to be. Sorry, everybody. and we're stopping. We have like three or four more things planned. So guess what? No, we got to go into the review for Mike Flanagan's Before I Wake.
All right, Before I Wake, 2016, directed by Mike Flanagan, written by Mike Flanagan and Jeff Howard. A young couple adopt an orphan child whose dreams and nightmares manifest physically as he sleeps.
How many times has everyone seen this one?
Twice.
Okay, wow.
I even made a pros and cons sheet, and then as I'm watching it the second time, cons were being switched to pros, other things were being moved around constantly. That second view was very important.
Okay, well that's interesting. You have a pros and cons list, huh?
Yes. And honestly, with this, when I say cons, it's not always, terrible things. I start to get a little nitpicky, especially with a film like this, which was slated anyway for a theatrical release.
Okay.
When I hear a film is slated for a theatrical release, I automatically give the director a little bit, and these writers a little bit of leeway, because that a film that's getting a release like this, producers and studio heads are making them compromise their original vision.
That's true. That does happen.
But I'll say this: his style as a filmmaker is there again, and I thought the acting in this film was phenomenal, especially from
the kid Cody?
Thomas Jane. Cody's terrific. Jacob Tremblay is a very good kid actor. He was in Room, which won the Oscar for Brie Larson last year. He's a terrific young actor. I liked Kate Bosworth, but I thought Thomas Jane, I really loved his performance in this film.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, and I absolutely loved the music in this film.
Yeah. The music?
Loved it.
Nice.
It's funny that you mentioned it. I didn't really notice the music other than the last song. It sort of hits home.
I mean like the score. I know
it. That's why I meant it's funny that you mentioned that, because I normally mention that when we talk about these movies.
Me too.
And
right.
I didn't even really.
It happened a lot in a lot of the dream sequences, especially with when the sun would appear.
Oh, okay, yeah. But when the butterflies are flying around.
Yeah. I really love the fantasy elements. To me, this is like almost, I don't want to say it's two movies, but it's sort of the first 45 minutes of the movie is a fantasy drama with some horror elements mixed in, and then at like the 45-minute mark, it turns into more of a supernatural horror with dramatic and fantasy elements mixed in.
So you think it's Del Toro, is what you're saying?
No, it's not Del Toro fantasy, but it's
fantasy horror.
It is fantasy horror. But I loved what they did with it.
As did I, and I did not notice the score either, unfortunately. And that's something that we've all brought that up, depending on the review. And the acting was very good.
I thought there were a few things that were nods to other films. The first half of this movie was fucking outstanding.
Nods to his own films, because it kind of felt like Absentia, some similar
or
themes and elements.
Or Absentia, if anyone's seen that.
Is that how it is? Absentia? My God.
Yep.
What did I say?
Hello. Yes, it is.
You said Absentia.
Absentia, like an absentee landlord.
Absentia. Sorry. Yeah, Absentia.
Absentia had bad cinematography.
I'm sorry. God damn it. I said it again. I don't even care about that. I care that I said I'm sorry.
I know. You said it like 3 more times just now. I'm going to win. No F-bombs for Dave.
Whatever.
I felt like for this story, because I mean we've all seen films like this where like a couple's dealing with the loss of their child. I feel like it could have just become so stereotypical, but I really connected with these people.
Absolutely.
I thought it was so well done. Like I cared about these people. I thought the way they behaved and the things they did, it was nice to see that it didn't just go into like every scene was a fighting scene and there was no love left in their marriage, and
right.
It really, everything about it just worked.
It's very emotional.
Very emotional.
Yeah. And it might not be for everybody. I could see some people just not.
Yeah, look. Every film's not going to be for everyone, but the basic setup is this couple played by Kate Bosworth and Thomas Jane. They lost their son in a drowning accident. He drowned in their bathtub. This is all stuff you find out very early, and she's in a support group, and he's dealing with the grief his own way, and they basically decide that they're going to foster a child who turns out to be Cody, played by Jacob Tremblay, who has this ability to manifest his dreams into reality. And he's a young kid.
And his nightmares.
And his nightmares, yeah. So, obviously it starts off beautiful with these dreams. He's very obsessed with butterflies. At first you don't know why, but, obviously he's looking at these butterflies over and over and looking at them because he wants to manifest good dreams rather than nightmares. So he's almost using the butterflies as a way to suppress any negative dreams.
And he's helping them out in the process. Well, or is he? Because, Sean's coming around.
Well, he is. Yeah. I think he wants to feel like he's helping out. And I thought that was great. I thought that, I love the setup of this. Brandon mentioned you feel for these people right away. The performances are great from everybody involved.
Yeah.
And when the kid comes back and their reaction and what they do to kind of keep it going is very interesting. And that's what I think makes the script and Mike Flanagan such some of that I'm definitely intrigued by. Like Hush the first time, and I really enjoyed Hush, but like Hush, I felt like that 35-minute mark, I was getting a little antsy that first time when she was around the house, and I didn't feel that the second time. Funny enough, both times I watched Before I Wake, at around the 35-40-minute mark, I got a bit antsy again.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and I felt like I'm just something in that area. I just feel like loses me for about 5 minutes, and then I'm back on board.
See, now I was saying to myself at the 45-minute mark, just keep this up, don't do any of this or this. And it did a few things that I didn't like and had a few things I didn't like, but I was so glad that it avoided some potentially major catastrophes. I like the fact that they were at odds over the fact that the mother is obviously keeping pictures of Sean up and showing videos of Sean to Cody so that he'll dream about Sean so that they can see Sean. And yet the father
totally
doesn't agree with it, and
he's
confronts her about it, and he's right, but at the same time when he sees it, you could just see the emotion in him. So it's not like it's like, oh, screw you for doing this, I'm out of here. It didn't just turn into what you would normally see.
And I was actually worried that we wouldn't be able to talk about much of this movie without saying spoiler, because
I feel like all this is very non-spoiler.
Oh, no, I know, but where I want to go with it, I can't yet because I know that I'm going to be spoiling something because his reaction and his character go through things that I don't necessarily agree with. But that's why I like the movie as well.
And obviously the antagonist in this film is one of his nightmares is the Canker Man, which I've listened to other reviews. Yes, it's a silly name, but it makes sense.
Yeah, who cares what the name is?
Yeah, like everyone's like, oh, the Canker Man, like
Jelly Fingers or something.
Jelly.
I don't know.
That's gonna be my slash. That's my answer for Derek. I want to see Jelly Fingers. Fucking spits venomous peanut butter in your face and then jellies your face with his fingers. So Canker Man, who's this monster who's always with Cody, can't seem to get rid of the Canker Man who's haunting his dreams, and so
he tells him that.
Yeah, tells him that. Yeah, basically says to him, "I'll always be with you."
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Very creepy. So what Cody does is he spends a lot of the film drinking coffee, drinking energy drinks, drinking soda, doing everything to stay awake. And to me, that was very much a nod to like Nightmare on Elm Street a little bit. He didn't want to sleep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do everything to stay awake to avoid potentially bringing out the canker man.
Yeah, without feeling like remotely like ripping it off, like at all. Like
not at all.
Even with a dream nightmare type feeling, I didn't once, even with seeing the canker man, didn't once think Freddy, didn't once think any of that. Both times, did it managed to be play in that dream nightmare realm without me thinking Freddy at all.
I thought Freddy, but not for bad reasons. I thought as his movie's going by, I say to my wife, I said, you know what? For years, people were not able to make a movie involving a dream demon or anything like that. Not necessarily because it was taboo, but it would be very hard to pull off without looking like a ripoff of Freddy. It's just nobody messes with it. Really, nobody does. It's a genre. Someone tells you, dream, anything about being killed in your dreams. What horror movie? You're gonna say Nightmare on Elm Street. That's really all you're gonna say. You could talk a little bit about some others, like Bad Dreams, which kind of ripped it off. You know what I mean? But for the longest time, you can't do it. And I say this to my wife. I said, you know what? This might be the first movie that I've said for years no one's done, where they produced a dream demon, and they're pulling it off without ripping them off, and with it being original at the same time. So
very original. He really puts it feels like a Flanagan film.
And funny enough, first time I watched this, I didn't really like the look of the Dream Demon.
Well,
Second
that's
time,
one of my.
I loved it.
Okay.
Me too. Wow.
All right. Well, that's one of my criticism is some of the CGI, and particularly the Canker Man, only because I thought of something after I watched the film that I thought would have been even more effective for me. That doesn't mean it would have been for everyone, but I thought of something. It hurt it a little. It's not. Doesn't destroy the movie by any means, but that was one of the things I didn't necessarily like. I like how it played out ultimately with the Canker Man, but I felt like based on the way it played out, and I'm being very cryptic here because I don't want to spoil anything, that they probably could have gone with practical effects and had a sort of very, very cool sort of twist towards the end with that.
Well, more practical effects is always good regardless.
Yeah, but I'm not a snob with CGI. Like, I mean, look.
No, as long as it's good.
Look, I mean, they didn't overuse it. Look, I saw the trailer for Ouija 2, and there's definitely CGI in that. But, I'm still looking forward to seeing it because it's his, and it'll actually give me an excuse to watch the first one, which I never wanted to. But
So I think I watched this before you guys initially, and that's when I was like saying it's not going into theaters. I read about the relativity thing, but I also felt that it never got that final like polished look to it. So for whatever reason, I think this is going to play better on video on demand and on Blue at home.
I agree.
I don't think it's a big theater movie, and that's why I just said something about it. No knock against Mike Flanagan, the script or the direction or any of that. And the effects are again didn't bother me in the slightest the second time around. The first time around, I kind of felt like what Brandon did there, and maybe still does, but it didn't ruin my enjoyment the second time at all.
Look, I'm being nitpicky with it, and the CGI again. Like I said, it didn't ruin it for me, but in terms of the creature, that was a little bit of a con. One of the other cons I wrote down on here, and I could even justify it just based on the situation of the family. It makes perfect sense why there wouldn't be anything. But I put that maybe they were too like accepting and understanding of this gift like so quickly. But it makes sense because the gift was manifesting itself into these beautiful imageries of the butterflies. I mean, those were awesome, especially when he started dreaming, about Sean and Christmas, and they were like these like Christmas light butterflies.
Yeah.
Like that was beautiful. So like while like maybe like in real life if you saw that you'd be a little creeped out and probably like want to talk to somebody, even talk to Cody and be like, what's going on? But they didn't because they were trying to heal, and he was actually helping them heal. She even references that at one point. She's like, we need to heal, and if he could help us heal.
And
with
it's almost like a movie would normally like, oh, what? I don't believe it. You know what? It's almost refreshing that they didn't go down that route. And it's funny how, normally it'd be like, oh, come on, why would they do that or whatnot? And I never did question that either watch. I never worried about it being too quick or them too accepting right at the beginning, because I think part of their, almost it was cathartic for them, as you said. So they were very accepting of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And it works.
Oh, of course. Yeah. That's what I said when I was watching. This is what I told my wife. I said I would do it the one time. Then one time they got robbed. Of course you're going to do it the first time. You're going to be all about it. I said I would do it again, but after the Christmas one, I said that would have been it for me. I said if it was me, I would do it a few times, and that's it. But I wouldn't spoil myself or keep going all the time, because that would not be good for you at all. You know?
Yeah.
So, but of course they're going to fall into that when they see their son. There's no question about it. But see, that's where that's where I felt with the father. I'm like, okay, I think that that his decision was what I was telling my wife. Enough is enough. It's great, but we have to move on. We have another son to take care of now that's in the house, and we have to.
It was very emotional. I loved it from the opening, not the opening scene, but the opening. From the shot when Cody first arrives at the house, when the social worker brings him over, and he talks about taking the shoes off, and you notice everyone takes their shoes off.
Oh, they all did, huh? They followed his lead.
I didn't notice that.
The next scene is them walking into the other room, and all four of them are barefoot. And I just thought it was like really touching. It's like they're doing everything they can to make him feel comfortable. They're going to adapt to his behaviors, and even little things like the first time he talks to Kate Bosworth's character, he calls her Mrs. Hobson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then later on, he refers to her as Jessie, and then obviously we'll talk a little bit more where it goes from there. But
yeah, it progresses. It
progresses. Yeah, it's really a nice, a heartbreaking but nice story.
Well, it is heartbreaking because as you find, Dad gets cheated. I know that they kind of explain it at the end with with the way that they tell the story.
What could have happened.
Yeah, exactly. And
that was a big pro on my book was the ending scenario.
Oh, I loved it too.
Yeah.
I loved it too. But the way when I'm saying that, I felt he got cheated just because he's such a good character and he's such a good guy and he's so willing to make this work. And he was even more against this whole like manipulation thing. Almost like right after it happened. Like he liked it, but he was willing to let it go because he was wanting to make it work with the kid. That's what makes it so much more, effective.
Yeah, he had such a great relationship with Cody from the very start.
No, I read something.
And she did too, but like he connected with him very quickly, like almost instantaneously. Like you could see how much they both needed him. But she obviously wasn't ready to let go of Sean as not easily, but as willingly as Mark's character was.
I just think the kid was great, man.
Oh yeah, he's terrific.
The character,
absolutely terrific.
He's just the kid does a real good job. He's so small. I mean, what we were saying is that's probably from Not Sleeping. That's probably where they're going with that. But he's so small, and in real life he was 8 when he filmed this, so he's small. He's supposed to be 8. It looks like he's 5.
Yeah.
He's definitely
and I like the fact that they didn't make him creepy. He's not menacing. He's a cute little kid.
Right.
He means well, and I love the scenes at the school with the girl he befriends.
Yeah,
I thought that was like very sweet. I did think I didn't want it to go where it went in terms of the school bully. I did not necessarily like that.
Yeah, you know what? Funny that you say that. It's not needed. You can take out that whole subplot.
I didn't want it.
You could take out that whole subplot, and maybe that's what I'm talking about. You take that out, because really all that does is build up a horrific scene that is not necessarily in the movie, and I think that's the pacing stuff that I'm talking about bogged it down. And bogged is the wrong word. Let me take that back right away. But that I'm talking about at that 35-40, it was something there, and I think if you just release that scene altogether, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I know why they did it, but you could take out that whole subplot and it wouldn't affect the movie in the slightest.
Honestly, that adds more to the horror elements of the film, and this film borderlines on almost I'm really being more dramatic fantasy with elements of horror. So I feel like that was probably in there to make this more of a horror film, but could have done completely without it.
That's what I agree. And I read this. I didn't even realize it until afterwards. But the great thing about it is I read it in between viewings, so it was kind of cool to see it. Supposedly the butterflies don't have antennas on them.
Yes.
Until the girl at school
so the
mentions,
girl draws them.
Yeah, or talks about them, and then at that point on, all butterflies have antennas. Yeah.
Yeah, I read that as well, and I thought that was cool. Because that's also talking about how, I mean, he is just 8 years old, so even though he's having these dreams and they're manifesting good or bad, they're not intentional. He's 8. This is what happens. You're easily influenced by everything around you.
Yeah.
So
it's great. And
yeah, he couldn't even help it. And I like the idea of the waking dream. The guy in the group talked about that, about achieving REM sleep while you're awake, and even has a nightmare while he's pretty much awake with his eyes open.
Yeah, that helped.
He's yelling, "I'm awake," and the mother sees Sean saying, "I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake."
Yeah,
and it was really well done. I love the way
very creepy.
I love the way they vanish, the way they kind of leave that little like smoke, that little vape.
Yes, but funny that you like that, because that was the parts that I felt were a little less polished, that would have given it the cinematic, this can go to a theater look. They looked very like they were missing something. That looked like quick CGI or something like that. I almost wish they could have done something else. It works. It works. Mm-hmm. It's not. There's no mark taken away from it, but it just, like, I call it the final polish or something like that. Like, just something that they could have souped up a little bit more. But it works. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. See, my I can't see it. Like, I don't know what I'm looking for in terms of that. Like, I mean, you as a filmmaker.
Well, wannabe filmmaker.
But I'm saying I'm not even making fun. I'm being legitimate here.
Yeah.
Like, as someone who knows filmmaking and knows that you would see that, and
you know what though? That's what I want to see, but that's not what Mike Flanagan wants to see. So, like, again, who might argue? Other than I'm just saying that
you don't know. Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Maybe budgetary problems. You got to make cuts and stuff. Maybe that was one of the things he had to sacrifice on.
But things that I don't think of, and that this is what I would love to do from a storytelling technique, and I don't have this skill, which is the basic principles of writing a good story. But what I'm talking about is the butterfly signifying good and life and beauty, and the moth signifying like evil and death and everything. Very simple, but put to such good use in this movie.
Yeah. Simple, effective storytelling with good acting.
Yeah, and not even like something like you have to scratch your head about it. I think it's something that everybody can get very easily, the meaning and the symbolism behind it, without it feeling like you're scratching your head, or at the same token, it doesn't feel like it's too overt or whatnot as well. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. And
I did too. Going back to the school bully thing, I think that I'm looking at my cons list, and that led to 2 other cons on my list, which were a couple of jump scares where they used a certain character from the school, and a certain trope, an under the bed scene. I mean, it's not really gonna spoil it, but I mean, come on.
You're right.
You don't even have to remove the character; just remove his play in the film.
He had no business, in my opinion, being in the scene that you're talking about.
Yeah, right.
Because it was for the mom.
Yeah, well, at that point, there was a little bit towards the end, everything's sort of like combining, almost. Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say too. What a dream landscape, which didn't play into the Nightmare on Elm Street realm. Like, well, because it could be whatever, like a dream / nightmare world, fully realized in a waking environment. And I thought, what a great idea. I don't know. I really liked it. Like the final set piece, I marked that down. The one part I wrote down in a note, I'm going to try to be vague here because I think I can go into this without making it a spoiler. She put, okay, I'll word this and then you tell me if this is okay. So she drugs him for all intents and purposes, but with a prescription drug to make sure he sleeps so that she could be able to see her son. Is it Jesse?
Sean.
Sorry, Sean again. And I'm turning into Dave here.
She's Jesse. Yeah.
Sorry.
Jesse and Mark.
So then when that whole thing played out and the cops are there and everything like that, why did they have to remove the child from the house? Was it assumed that it was a domestic violence situation?
Yeah, because she had the big bruise on her face.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify because
so they made the assumption that Mark hit her and then ran away,
right.
Which this is the only reason why the character that I've been talking about, the school character, was really put into the story, was to explain sort of where Mark's character goes.
Okay,
I'm being cryptic. Everything else I kind of have to say is spoilerish, but I also enjoyed some of the backstory with one of the previous foster parents, because he had 2 other sets of foster parents before this.
Yeah, and that's good too. We can get into that.
Yeah,
spoilers
that could all be in spoilers.
It's just weird that the cop does say point blank, "Why'd you drug the child?" And I'm like, it was a prescription drug. Well, she said she does answer it like that, but he's almost like just shakes it off, like whatever. And then he's like, "We got to remove the child." And at that point, they're already taking him out of the house. It's just like what? But
yeah, and
he disagrees. That's all. He just disagrees with the idea of drugging a child. It's just a personal thing for him. So I could see somebody doing that. It's kind of a touchy subject, you know.
Yeah,
true.
That's why. Yeah, it's kind of like a hot button topic about drugging of kids that age of any type.
Yeah. It was another part of the movie that sort of, kind of just, the police involvement.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna agree the bully is not needed.
He's needed for one thing, but it could have been done a different way. And I'll get to that in spoilers. But yeah, that was the one misstep in here.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that. They didn't. They could have done something else. But whatever. The CGI, honestly, I don't really have a problem with it, except for the Canker Man itself in certain scenes when they come together, because it's obvious CG, but it doesn't look bad.
I don't care that it's obvious. I just feel like once I'll tell you what my thought was for the idea, and I don't know if it'll completely necessarily work, but if it does and it makes sense, then I felt like it would have been a little bit more effective and a little bit more emotionally gripping. But
I just like where they used the CG. It was fine for the most part.
Yeah, they didn't overuse it. They didn't overuse it.
Nope, they didn't overuse it. The kid is a really good character. Like, straight up, he's just a good person. You just how could you not like him at all?
And this family are just 2 nice people. You're actually, like, their emotional scenes, their crying scenes and stuff, just very authentic.
Yeah, very good. They
great performances.
Yeah, great performances, great characters. They're all pretty endearing characters. I think there's something you could question with Jesse, but I mean everything else, for the most part, they're all, there's no heels. They're all people that you can relate to and you feel
heels
for them. I know that's wrestling talk. Forget. And the whole backstory is really good. What we get to in the final moments, which really puts it in a different direction, and you're just like, wow, okay, that is great. And movies don't often do that. Like, if this was in the hands of Shyamalan, and I like Shyamalan, it wouldn't have been done this way. It would have been done some other way, I think. They would have, I don't know. I could just see this idea being in a different type of movie, and it wouldn't have been executed the way it was here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And they do it so good.
It's executed with subtlety
and heart.
Oh, definitely.
Right,
very emotional film. A film that pretty much anyone should be able to relate and attach to.
Yeah, and it's not cheesy.
No,
it's
not at all.
I could see some people that's just their personality, that they're gonna say that because you could just tell the way some people are, But whatever, that's their preference.
This is not a balls to the wall horror film. This is not a suburban whatever. Like it just Serbian. What the hell movie was that?
Serbian
film?
Yeah.
Are you about to say a suburban film?
Yeah, I was.
It's okay. I've actually heard one other friend, Derek, actually did that once. He actually referred to Serbian film as a suburban film, and we tormented him about it. We kept posting pictures of Suburbans on Facebook.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't bother me, so you can post all you like.
Yeah.
I'm still hooked up on, what did I call his first?
Absentia.
Yeah, absentee.
He's an absentee landlord.
Anyway, that you could torment me with. But this is a different style of horror movie, so it's going to be what you're looking for. If you're not in the mood for a movie with heart and about the tale that we've been just telling you about, a grieving mother and her husband, and just people that have gone through loss, then this movie might not be for you.
Yeah, we've been covering a lot of these types of films, with The Invitation, even with Hush.
Yeah.
There's depth to these films. They're horror, but they're not necessarily the type of horror that everyone loves.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Like, this is like a fantasy. Like, he said it was, mismarketed as a horror film. Well, no, it does. I agree with like what you said earlier, Brandon. It does have fantasy, a high amount of fantasy elements, but with a good mixture of horror in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, every scenario in this film is horrific, so that's all horror means is, so it's a very broad term. I think people automatically assume horror with just, blood and slashings or, ghosts, supernatural stuff, and I find this stuff, the stuff that, sort of plays out in reality, to be more horrifying than some of the more supernatural or over-the-top crazy stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah. And how about Flanagan? That he made this kind of a movie. Look at the movies he's made. It's he does different things.
Well, that's why I didn't give my answer earlier, because I didn't want to blow my load too early.
Right on.
But for me, at this point in time, he's 4 for 4, and just continues to get better and better.
I would agree with that as well. I'm more interested in not that I'm not interested in what he's done, because Hush I loved. This one I really, really, really enjoyed, and I might even love it because it actually I honestly think I had a tear in my eye at the end.
Yeah.
For a movie to do that from a movie that I wasn't expecting that to get that reaction from is even better, and so I agree, and I really love how he tells a story, so I'm really interested in seeing what he does next. I know it's going to be the Oculus sequel, but I'm just saying I'm really intrigued.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be Ouija.
Oh,
fuck you. Yeah. I do it to myself, so yeah.
No,
I thought it was going to be Ouija.
At least you said Oculus correctly.
Yeah. Oh, go with yourself.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, Christian. I feel bad. I feel like I've really been picking on you tonight.
Oh, no. I deserve it.
No, you don't.
I deserve it.
I deserve it. I'm sorry.
Because I know if it was reversed, it would be just as bad. So, what am I going to say?
That's right. That's right. So we're all in agreement then. He's 4 for 4. That's there.
Without a doubt. I my ratings went up a lot on the second view, because the first one I was focused more on some of the things I didn't like about it, and then on the second view, some of them made sense within the framework of the story, and some of them were just like, all right, they're not, doesn't really hurt the movie, doesn't necessarily need it to help the movie, but it doesn't hurt it, and just the positives far outweigh the negatives.
Absolutely. Christian, you say he's 4 for 4, right?
Yeah, no, I did. I did say that. I was just saying that same thing with Hush, which I came up pretty high with my rating with. I said there were still some things that were negatives that I didn't like in the movie, but again, overall, a great film, and same sort of thing here. It'll be interesting. Like, I'll give you my head rating right now, because I think we're heading into spoiler range, right?
Head again.
Yeah, I think yeah.
I'll say half head blown.
I'm right there with you.
I gotta say, I'm stuck between half head blown and full head blown. I'm stuck at that.
I get confused what a full head blown is. Obviously, a 10 would be a full head blown.
I'd say 9-10 is like a full head blown, and then
right
7-8 would be like a half head blown.
Half of my head is blown off, and the other half has ear, nose, and throat problems. Ear, half a nose, and half a throat problems.
Yeah, and then I have two testicles hanging from my chin.
Balchinian.
Chin ballitis.
Oh. I like Balchinian better.
Oh, man. Okay, so he's 4 for 4. And like you said, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, when you hear my rating, it's going to make sense that I don't know whether to be full head or not. Or not.
No, yeah, I feel like I might be like right there with you.
I'm 3/4. I'm 3/4 blown.
Yeah, I might be right in that same area with you. But he's reached the point now where it's like, oh, I can't. Oh, the new Mike Flanagan's out. I want to see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. No, yeah. Okay, Christian. I was trying to ask him this. You said Rob Zombie was number 1. What is he? Okay. What have you seen? 6 movies? 5 movies? What have you seen?
Of Rob Zombies?
Yeah. How do you rate his? Like you say, Flanagan's 4 for 4. I want to know your opinion on Zombie then.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I love House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and Lords of Salem. Yep. And funny enough, Halloween and Halloween 2 I'm not as high on.
I can see that.
And so, but I still respect what he tried to do with it, and I still like aspects of both of those sequels, or remake and sequel. I'm very, very intrigued. Like, when I heard 31, I'm like, I can't wait to see 31. I can't wait to see 31. And Mike Flanagan, honestly, I didn't know... Absentia and Ouija, I like as like a 7 out of 10 each movie. Hush, I gave a 9 out of 10. And we'll get to Before I Wake later on. So he's emerging to be right up there as well. And that's not to say I don't like, well, Roth got no love. I like Roth, and I like Wan as well. All of these directors are interesting. Yeah. Wan and Roth seem to be going in more traditional routes. Zombie does things his way, and people either love or hate it. And I think Flanagan is a little bit more of the, I'm not necessarily going to spoon-fed for you. I'm not going for the visceral look. I'm going to make you think and enjoy my movies as well. And so I respect it for that, because really, at the end of the day, that's what I think a lot of us want. I didn't know this guy's name, whether right or wrong, at the beginning of this year.
There you go.
To be honest, I didn't.
I didn't either. I mean, I liked Oculus.
Yeah.
But like, and I was like, oh, that's the guy who did Absentia. But once we started doing Hush, once we did Hush, then I'm like, oh, that's Flanagan who did this, and then now this. Now it's like a household name.
Did you say?
I was on.
I said Ouija now because you fucked me up.
It's you keep messing it up. He did Oculus. He's doing the sequel to Ouija.
Ouija 2. Yeah, it's coming.
He didn't do the first Ouija. He did Oculus.
So I screwed myself. Okay, that's what I
did. No, here's what I did. Yeah, Absentia. Oculus. Hush, and now this. But coming into the year, I said it. Yeah, because I was a big fan of Absentia and Oculus.
And now he's got a sequel, a remake, and a Stephen King adaptation coming up. He's got Ouija 2.
Yeah,
he's writing I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot.
He already wrote it. He wrote it years ago, actually.
Oh, okay. And he's doing Gerald's Room, which is a Stephen King novel.
Right.
Which I've heard mixed reviews about the story, but his touch on these films, whether the films are great or not, I'm sure will be very Flanagan-esque, which is
absolutely,
which is all good by my standards.
All right. Well, I guess we're saying spoilers now. We gave our heads.
Yeah, I think we could definitely go into the spoilers.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoil away. Where do you start?
All right. So I just getting back to the bully. I think he's obviously used because and he could have just ran away. They could have just had it. You know, even if they had a bullying incident and he pushed a butterfly and he pushes him, maybe the kid just literally runs away. Or maybe the Cankerman scares him, and rather than eating him, he just runs away screaming. Like Annie was the girl's name. Maybe she screams, Cody wakes up, he disappears, and the kid runs away, and you don't see him anymore.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
That's what should have happened. And then this way, you don't see the kid, and this way they could still use Mark as a potential suspect in the disappearance of Tate. Tate was the bully. Because obviously he's not in the house after he's been eaten, and they're taking the child away because they think that the husband hit her and she drugged the child, and all chaos is breaking loose. So that could be the reason why he disappears. That's how I thought that should have played out better, and that was it with the bully. No jump scares, no him standing with his mouth open screaming, no under the bed pole.
Well, that's a Flanagan trait right there, though. He loves that. Absentia, he did that a bunch of times with the husband.
Yeah, you're
now,
right.
Having said all that, the girl saw it, screamed. They never go back to her. So, like, what? They never got a statement from her. Cops are showing up at the boy's house. This girl watched the canker man absorb this bully.
Yeah, that didn't make sense either.
They don't know.
Yeah.
How are they going to know?
And I just chalk it up to another 8-year-old not making sense when talking to the cops. I mean, the cops going to believe an 8-year-old when he's a monster took him.
They could have put a throwaway line, maybe. Like, we talked to the girl, but we only got, like, a nonsense story from her or something like that. I don't know. Like,
okay.
Something. It seemed like that was something weird that they never go back to.
But you could say that was said when the cops came and talked to Mark.
Yeah, husband never comes back. So
yeah, that was another thing. At first, I was a little taken aback by, especially the wife's reaction. I mean, it's inadvertent, obviously, because she wants to see Sean, so she drugs him with the sleeping pill. But she basically inadvertently is the cause of Mark's death.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem overly fazed by it. She is obviously fazed by it because she does go to Whelan's character, who's the first foster parent.
That stuff's great. That's where everything takes off.
I love that scene.
Yep.
With him and his wife, very creepy, beautiful, eerie.
Oh yeah, with the remembrance of his wife and her smile.
Can't quite remember right. She almost has like a mannequin look.
Yeah,
like
fantastic. That's one of the creepier shots.
Yeah,
very creepy. And his performance was good too. He's a character from Ray Donovan.
Funny enough, he was my least favorite in this movie.
Oh, I like him. He's on Ray Donovan. He's very good.
Yeah, no, I've seen him in other things too, but just this, it was just I
liked him. I thought he had substance too, even for a small role, because he talked about that he couldn't do it, but that it needed to be done. Yet obviously in the end, Jesse's approach is a little different. Well, not a little different, completely different.
Yeah, I'd say no. Yeah, he didn't try to kill him once.
Where I'm going with it is like, so the kid's in there. The mom comes back to save him at the end, brings him home, tells a story which is cinematically.
Oh my God!
Appealing and beautiful and everything. Cinematically great. Well, let's get back to the real world of the story here. The father's just gone now, and not coming back. The kid supposedly was taken away because of the abusive environment and whatever. Like, what happens next? Like, that's
I wrote that. Police will be involved.
Yeah.
How to resolve everything? Because after this movie ends, the police are gonna come back.
Absolutely.
And how's the what's her name? The counselor, the social worker, gonna explain this to police? Oh no, let her take
Natalie. Yeah.
Natalie and all the people who were in the chrysalis, which I love that scene at the end to protect them all. But it's like, if he knew about the chrysalis, because he was telling Mark earlier, why couldn't they all have been in chrysalis? Like somewhere else. Like maybe he dreamt them into a safe place where they were all crystallized, if that's a word. You understand what I'm saying? Like the ending is like they all come back, but they were in like a safe place. Maybe the safe place is a place that he had created in his mind, but was really a real place. Maybe it was his childhood home. And then one by one, they all come back at the end.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted a super happy ending for this film.
Nah.
Yes!
No, there was enough heartfelt shit. And I'm not complaining, but I think that's cool because in essence, you get a depressing ending because none of those things are going to happen. How's that? That's that she's teaching the kid right there, this is true life. And these are stories, and it could end this way. But guess what?
Yes, morning, no, because they talk about happy endings, and
they both learn.
And she says it can be a happy ending, and he's like, I think so too. So while they want it to be, they're not 100% sure because it's real life, and obviously he's gonna have bad dreams again.
Yeah, There you go. That's what I'm saying. What did you want it to go? You wanted all that shit to be real and to play out?
Like I said, I wouldn't have mind seeing everyone in a chrysalis at the end and coming back. Obviously, in the last scene, it's in the hospital, the orphanage, or the school, but wherever. Not the school. The orphanage that they're keeping him in.
Yeah.
At the meantime, but maybe everyone else was somewhere else. But I do like, especially in the flashback scene, in the scenario that she's telling him, which almost felt, I don't know, it felt like, I don't know why it reminded me of like Edward Scissorhands. That's the movie I thought of, because it was very like fantasy like she was like when she's telling the story in the movie, and I do like Mark's reunion with Sean. Like, he got like what he wanted.
I do too.
Yeah,
It felt like it should have been reversed. Like, she was the one that wanted Sean so much, and he's the one that seemed to want the new son. That it almost felt like it should have been almost backwards.
Yeah, but it had to play out this way simply because the canker man turns out to be really the cancer man, who's really his mother, who died of cancer. So a boy needs his mother.
Yeah, and I know that was exactly it. And I know that, and that was sad. And he was so young, so the memory was of this shadow of her former self, mother, and cancer. And I loved how all that came to fruition. But the other thing was, and again, I might be overthinking this or being too nitpicky, but when it's coming running at her, and then she has the butterfly and hugs the canker man, and it turns into the boy. Isn't that not really following the same philosophy as setting it up as it's the mother?
I thought it was here's how I wanted it. I wanted it to turn into the mother, and that's why I almost would have made the canker man almost like just a creature that just sort of lurks in the shadows. And then at the end, as it approaches, you kind of see it's not the mother, because he obviously doesn't remember exactly what she looks like, but you could tell it's her. But you could tell it. Like that's why I would have loved
a glowing being that looked.
Yeah, it looked too much like a monster. But again, I'll go back and say that the CGI, the fact that, even though I didn't love it necessarily, the fact that when they turn, they're all like hollow shells in their former self really makes sense with this film, especially. Dealing with the whole idea of cancer and how it just kind of turns you into a hollow shell of yourself.
Oh yeah. How about that scene though in the climax when it's creepy as hell when friggin' she sees herself messing with his head, grabbing it and messing it all around, and then she takes out her eyes, and then his eyes are gone, and they look at the real life Jesse that's there. And then you see the husband come up, and he has the eyes.
Yeah,
that was creepy. Oh, man.
Very creepy. And right before that scene was a really crucial scene where she sees the bathtub again, and
and he's thrashing, and there's blood.
And he's thrashing, and that's the point where her character's her character has changed, because it's like it's a heartbreaking scene.
She walks away.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking scene because she knows she's not there to save Sean. She's not saving Sean this time. She's going to save Cody.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
See, I took it as the simple thing that I wouldn't watch it either. I don't want to see my
No, it wasn't. It was that Mark was always saying that's not our son. That's not our son, and this was her accepting that wasn't Sean, and that she couldn't save him. She was there to save Cody, her son. Now.
Good, very good. Look at that.
Yeah, I love this film. I really did.
It was very good.
It really was.
Yep, and the way it wrapped up, I mean, forget about it. When she explained and she got in the background, as soon as she saw that guy, it took off for a great climax. It really did.
Yeah.
It elevated itself. As soon as you got more backstory, and then got that, and then found out about the mother, and then at the end when she's sitting down explaining the story to him, and it's all coming out.
Yeah, that's both of those scenes when she's explaining about the mother, and it's almost coming together, almost like Saw-esque, where like everything. It's like oh.
Maybe that's why I like it.
No,
so
and then of course, I mean, I can't. It's just that happy ending scenario. It's just man, that's an amazing scene.
That's what I'm telling you, man. If they again, it wasn't a huge hit. But there's something wacky with the pace that just pulls me out at that mark, and I think it's that bully stuff. And if they took that out, it could have trimmed down the movie a little, kept it a little bit tighter. I think I would have enjoyed it just a little bit more. Not again, my rating's not going to say that I didn't enjoy the movie. It's something about it.
Yeah, it's weird. That bully stuff takes up probably about like 10 minutes of the movie. Yeah. And that would probably cut it down to like an 80-minute movie versus it was just over like an hour and a half.
Definitely. At first I thought there was a problem. And there was really nothing I could complain about. I thought. There is one thing, though. One other thing. Someone just said it. What was it?
About the cankerman turning into the son? Or into Cody instead of the mother, or...
Well, you know what?
The father never coming back again.
That did occur to me.
Well, the only reason why I justified it turning into Cody is because one, everything, and even the I believe the group counselor talks about it early on when they're showing the group scenes at the beginning of the movie that when you're dreaming, it's not real. I believe he mentioned something like that. So everybody that Cody's dreaming about is actually him, but it was the mother in terms of when Jesse faces her and shows the butterfly. And it's almost like, okay, his mom's here. Like I can go now.
And maybe the whole thought process behind that is, if it turned into the mother, you'd be like, oh, what, the mother's rage? And really it's not. It's his imagination. It's his thought. It's his nightmare. So really he is the evil. It's just the dark side of him because of this horrible memory of his mom when she was cancerous. So really it is him.
He's creating this nightmare because he's a kid and he saw it as a nightmare when in actuality it was actually quite an emotional, loving scene of, the mother, saying goodbye. Her voice is all raspy and saying that she'll always be with him. So it was never a bad thing.
It's his representation of Cancer Mom, which is a canker man. So it's still him, not her, because she really was never that. She was a loving mom.
Exactly.
It's just his memory of this part. So that I could buy that, and that pretty much solves that piece of it. It just there are questions that maybe don't need answering. It is a movie after all.
Yeah. But, look, things. I mean, it's it's. I think it's coming up for me as we're talking about it because we're kind of like justifying and really making sense of even the little things we didn't like.
Well, I really love the dad so much that I guess I can't take marks away that he doesn't come back and he's dead and whatever.
Thomas Jane is so good. He's so good.
You kind of have to respect the movie for saying, no, he's dead, motherfucker.
Yeah, and I mean, I was paying it. I don't know why I was paying attention to the time marks, but he gets killed at an hour in. So I mean, he's in it for most of the movie. He's not in it for the last act, but you do see him obviously in ghost form, and then the reunion with Sean at the end, which is just like, I don't know. Even Dave talking about how it can't be a perfect happy ending for everyone. Like, I get it too. I like it that way too. Even though like I kind of wanted it to be a happy ending for everyone, it doesn't take away points for the fact that it wasn't. So I like it both. I like it both ways. It's like, oh, I would have liked it this way, but I really like it this way also. So
the one thing I wanted to be true was the father and the son. The other ones, it didn't. Those did not have to come true. It didn't have to be that happy. But for him,
well, I believe the father and the son. I mean, because what?
Yeah, that's the believable one. Right.
Because look, I mean, basically these people were killed. Look, there is supernatural elements in this film. He has this gift that he can bring his dreams and nightmares to life, and when he brings his nightmares to life, they can kill.
So let's talk about that very, very last shot then. It's beautiful, but is he awake? Is he dreaming then? And if he's awake, he manifests this beautiful butterfly in his hand.
Oh, that's awake sleep. What they call it earlier?
Well, no, but he's concentrating on making it materialize, and it does. He's
going to another level, huh?
That's how I took it, because she was kind of telling the story about like kind of mentioning how he has such a great gift, such a powerful gift. I forgot the exact word she used, but I took it as if, it's not just about being asleep and stuff. It's a gift that's way beyond that, and that maybe even because they even left it open that maybe all those good things could happen. You don't know. Maybe he can bring those people back. But she was willing to take a chance on him. She loved him. That was her son, and she was going to stick by him and be with him and be his mother and help him.
Well, this horror fan had a tear in his eye.
Yeah,
both times I watched the movie.
Yeah, I was very touched by this film.
At the end,
feel you, man.
Yeah, and then
I was touched in a good way, not like at Thanksgiving at my uncle's.
You had to do it, the turkey baster. But no, and then they kick in that song "Welcome Home" by Radical Face. That song is freaking amazing.
Yeah,
and it's kind of haunting and catchy all at the same time, and a great song to end the movie. And as I mentioned earlier, I loved it personally before that, so just to hear it in this movie too, I thought
I'd never heard that song before, but I like that song, and like I said, the music played throughout, like in certain scenes, which is really beautiful.
What do you think? Are we ready to rate?
I thought I lost all you guys.
Dave's asleep.
I can't keep up, man. I can't keep up tonight. You guys are killing it. I can't, But I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying listening to some in-depth stuff.
He's like an actor on set who's just like watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying not to swear.
This was a good show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it was a good movie, and I'll tell you, the thing about Flanagan now, he's up there. I mean, he's, I
got to go back and rewatch Absentia.
Oh,
and Oculus, because it's been a while since I've watched both those, especially Absentia.
While you're at it, watch Absentia and,
I was gonna say,
and Ouija as well.
We ready for ratings?
Yeah. All his movies are above an 8 for me. 8 or above, every one. That's saying something.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, they're all like in the same area, actually, which is something. And that's why my rating is, like I said, you said it should be a 9 or a 10 is usually where you put up your full-blown head. And that's why I said I was right there and I'm on the cusp, because it's 8.5 for me. And
okay.
I think all his movies might be 8 or 8.5. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I
no,
really
you're right.
like all his movies. So if he keeps it up, if Ouija 2 somehow ends up being another one in the same area, quality like this, and if by chance 31 doesn't live up to hype, then he will become my new favorite.
Yeah.
So that's saying something.
For me, after the first viewing of this film, I had it around like 7.5. Because I had nitpicked so many things, and I was like, okay. Then the second view, I'm like, you know what? It's justifiable, all these things. And some of the things didn't really hurt it as much as I thought. And then, of course, we talked tonight. And after the second viewing, I was much closer to, I was more of an 8, 8.5. That's where I was hovering. I was hovering around 8.5. But honestly, just continuing to talk about this film and think about how much I enjoyed this film in totally different ways than Hush. I enjoyed it just as much. Completely different films, but have his stamp of, just really great characters that you care about. The guy really knows how to write his characters well. I'm going to give this one a 9.
Wow. I had it at a 9 when we came in, and you guys talked me down to an 8.5.
Really? I feel like I talked myself up.
Wow.
I love it. It's very touching. It's a very personal film for me, I think.
You know what it was for me? Yeah, I could say, yeah. And I can see that, absolutely. And emotion is a big thing. And
by personal to me, I mean I once killed a bunch of foster parents.
Dave doesn't even talk. He's like, yeah.
Dave's like, yeah, all right, stupid joke.
No. You're all good, man. You're funnier than me. I'll tell you that.
That goes without saying.
See,
yes.
See, I'm supposed to be some. I got it. What do I got? Nothing.
Now, if you guys aren't gonna be home when the election comes around, I'm pretty sure you can get an absentee ballot.
Oh, yes. The bully thing. That's what when Christian brought that up. Well, it could have been taken out, and then the ideas we've discussed and everything else that brought it down to an 8.5. I believe that was really it. So, either way.
I mean, I felt the same way about the bully, but like overall, there's just too much strong stuff. Like
I didn't realize it. I realized maybe it didn't. When he brought it up, I'm like, you know what? That didn't have to be in there. But
it did.
It flowed at a good pace, though. Like I never once. For me, I'm about 50-50 with all movies. How often how many times I watch a movie and I look at the time. It's about 50% of the time. In this one, I did not. I sat down. I was with my wife, buckled in, and watched the movie.
Buckled in.
Yeah.
Watching it drive-in?
Wearing the seatbelt and his helmet.
I need
All right, we'll go
restraints.
for a
guys.
ride.
I need restraints.
Wearing a cone so he doesn't lick his stitches.
No restraints.
Yeah, I have to be restrained, man. I get all crazy. You know, I get restrained, drugged. No.
I always look at the clock when I'm watching films. It just happens, but I found myself with this one checking it. Yeah, I always do. It doesn't matter. Even when I'm watching, half-hour shows, I'm always looking to see how much time is left. It's just something I do. But with this one, I was checking at the time, and because I knew, that it's transitioning into the second half, and it's getting towards the end, and I'm like, okay, don't do this, don't do that. But I just wanted to just keep watching. I wasn't bored at all.
Yeah, not at all. But
and the minute they got to the school, and I'm like, okay, don't do a school bully, and then they bring the bully, and I'm like, all right, maybe they won't go crazy with it, and
that's.
But
funny,
honestly, they could have just had him run away.
Yeah, yep, good call.
And as of right now, I'm coming in at an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie, and I don't think an 8 is a bad score by any means. I have a few issues, and I still think it's a good score.
I feel like,
yeah.
Even an 8, I feel like we're probably going to give it a lot higher scores than a lot of people.
I think so.
I don't think this is gonna. I don't think this is gonna be everyone's movie.
I
know you could. I know we always say that with that, but I see a lot of people just not connecting with this one.
They're gonna say the lightheartedness was.
They're gonna say this isn't a horror movie. Cankerman sounds like a killer herpy or something. But the characters are just, the acting is too well done. The characters are too well written. The script is just too good to just be ignored and just be chalked up as a bad movie, because it's not.
Gotta check it out. And it's it's a half head blown, but it could, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah, I said half head blown, and then I gave like a full head blown score.
Yeah, you did.
I know. Right?
Well, like I said, I was gonna give an 8.5, but as we were talking, especially towards the end, and then I was thinking about Dave, because like I said, I wanted the happy ending, the totally happy ending, and then he's like, nah, you don't need it, and then I'm like, you don't. It makes it even more heartbreaking, because Whelan's character, it's just got to live with the fact that he's never going to see his wife again, and
right.
The parents lost their child, and the bully.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But I like the optimism again of the end, like they said, because they don't know the extent of what his powers can do. So you don't know. You can make up your own thing. The fact that he's awake and he's manifesting these dreams, is his powers developing? As he gets older, will he be able to change things? Is everything finite or not?
He's the next Superman. He's a superhero. His next movie is going to be a Marvel.
Yeah, there you go.
I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, good stuff. And we just keep reviewing movies that are getting consistently good ratings. It's been a long time since
Possession.
Okay, except for Possession. But new ones, new movies.
I know.
You've been on a roll with new movies.
Man, I tell you.
I'm loving 2016 so far, what I've seen.
It's pretty good. And remember I said earlier, it's the year of Hollywood, and movies that have, been good at the movies. 10 Cloverfield Lane, that was at the show. The show.
Let's all go to the show.
And, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it continues. For some reason, I want it to go, I don't know. I think I wanted to have a bad review. I don't know. I wish we would have picked Holidays in a way. That would have been good to 5 out of 10, just a random thing, But can't complain. It's a great.
Can't last forever. Eventually, I'm sure we'll hit a dud.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot to choose from. It seems like we've been choosing correctly.
Yeah. Well, look, we're picking films by directors we like, or films that look somewhat intelligent and well made.
We know our shit apparently, huh?
Should we be doing 31 for show 21?
That would be nice.
I'll do that.
That would be wonderful.
Will it be out?
Oh, I think it comes out.
It's coming out September 1st if everybody can get to that show. It's only a one-night event, though, and then it comes out the 16th.
Then we might be pushing it to episode 22.
Although, wait, no, September 10th is when we record. September 10th is when we record.
11th says a Sunday. Oh, no.
When do we record episode 20?
Hell, a couple weeks.
That's like September 5th. So then September 1st would be like the 20th or something.
I don't know.
So the movie will be out by then, so we could probably still do 31.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. I might have internet issues in the next month. More on that later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I got some stuff coming up too. So, but hopefully nothing interferes with recording, and we could continue to do this.
Yeah, we'll do 31. We got to do 31. There's no question about that. We're doing that movie.
Yeah, definitely. Don't Breathe comes out this Friday. I want to go see that.
There you go.
Yeah, the trailer definitely gives stuff away, so avoid it.
Oh, I avoid every trailer.
Yeah, no, it really pissed me off because I watched it. I saw it in the theaters.
You don't watch trailers, Dave?
What's that?
You don't watch trailers?
You didn't know that?
I'm just...
Because I say it too damn much. I make it a point every freaking episode that I hammer it down everybody's freaking throats. I don't watch trailers. I'm preaching because I want everyone to do it like I do.
There's two things I want to know about you. Did you ever live in Vegas, and do you watch trailers?
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Hey, I got picked on earlier. I'm coming out of my shell now.
That's okay. Good. We need some of that here. Oh,
no,
man.
I need some of Cody's secret stash right now. I'm getting tired. I need some energy drinks.
Right? Yeah.
I wanted that purple stuff. Was that like purple soda, grape soda he was drinking?
Yeah, some.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, all right. Next show is the big one. It's
French Extreme.
Yeah, the French Extreme Special.
Nice.
So it's gonna be NFA, no fucking around. That's what it is.
Or Not For All.
We're coming on the air, and boom, we're getting into it.
5 movies.
5 movies
in 2.5 hours.
Yep, we're gonna do the best. We're setting the alarm.
This is supposed to be our 2.5 hour show.
Yeah, I know.
We're setting the alarm, though. I'm telling you, 40 minutes.
Oh, set the alarm. The alarm goes off.
Bam.
You can't do ratings.
You stop. Do your rating right there. Cut. Yeah. Well, it'll be. This is innovative. Nobody has. You ever seen a podcast do that?
I think we should. I think you should definitely stick to it.
I'm going to.
It'll be easier because obviously we're with other older movies we're spoilers all the way. So
yeah, on the clock, on the cock. That's the name of the show.
Have you seen all the films before? Have you seen all the films before?
I have not seen the first one.
I haven't seen them.
Oh, we're not doing them.
Yeah, we're doing
We're doing Trouble Every Day.
I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. We're doing
and I have not seen that one.
We're doing Trouble Every Day, and then Frontiers, Martyrs, Inside, High Tension.
Hot Tension.
Yeah, 4 of the 5, Fab 5, and Trouble Every Day, which is like one of the originals, the earlier one, like from 2001.
That's what it's Hot Tension. H-U-A. It's not H-A-U. That would be hot. It's H-U-A-T-E. So it's Hot. Hot Tension.
And it's Absinthia.
I'm gonna dream a little canker man into your lives tonight.
Yeah, I'll be dead by morning. Canker man's gonna eat me.
Yeah. Christian would dream of freaking Clayman. He'd be coming up. Oh! Friend.
Why does my ass hurt so bad this morning?
Where's Black Phillip? Oh,
my ass is so big, it's gaping. Oh, Christian must have had a bad dream for him, a wonderful dream for me.
Oh!
Yeah, and on that note.
And on
Black
that
Phillip
note. Black Phillip, bam.
Yeah. Let's get the hell out of here.
Alright, don't forget to turn out the lights.
Yeah, don't forget to turn out the lights and,
Did you say that did you guys say that on Banana Laser? Did I steal that?
I don't know. I don't know what I said on Banana Laser.
I feel like somebody said that on one of the shows where you're like hanging out in the lounge. Don't forget to turn out the lights or something.
I don't know. We'll leave the lights on for you. How's that?
Yeah, I'll leave them on. Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah. See you next show. Thank you for listening. Yeah, we love you. Keep making us number 1. Say goodbye, boys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See ya. Peace.